Hello guys! Sa araw na ito ay nais ko po sa inyo i-share ang mga difficult words. Kung may nais po kayo pong mapalabas po sa tanong ito, ay pwede po kayo mag-comment down below. At kung may nais man po ng shoutout, ay pwede rin po mag-comment down below. So, hope you enjoy guys!
A few moments later.
Difficult words of letter A. Aardvark, long-snouted ant-eating burrowing mammal of South Africa. Aardwolf, striped hyena-like mammal of South Africa. Aasbogel, vulture. Aba, striped camel hair or goat hair fabric of Arabia, loose Arab coat. Abaca, Philippine Islands plant yield fiber for Manila hemp. Abacis, person using abacus. Abacterial, not caused by or containing bacteria. Abaction, cattle stealing. Abaculus, small tile for mosaic. Abacus, frame with beads for calculation architecture, flat slab forming uppermost part of capital column. Abalone, ear-shaped marine shellfish yielding mother of pearl earshell. Abandonment, commerce, giving over by owner to underwriters of ship or cargo damaged beyond recovery. Abandonee, underwriter to whom such ship or cargo is abandoned. Abapical, at lowest point. Abarthrosis, diarthrosis. Abarticular, not connected with joint. Abas, downwind. Abascia, inability to control muscles in walking. Abate, low, and in nuisance, low, abandon an action. Abatement, low, obsolete. Unlawful entry by stranger onto land between death of possessor and entry of heir. Heraldry, the mark on arms to indicate the bastardy. Abatis, barricade of fallen trees. Abature, skylight device at window to throw light downwards. Abatsons, device for directing sound downwards. Abatvent, sloping slats to break force of wind. Abatvoix, sounding board. Abaxial, distant or turned away from axis as an organ or organism. Ab, inferior part of fleece from this forward. Abba, father bishop in Syriac and Coptic churches. Abozo, rough preliminary sketch. Abditive, remote hidden. Abditory, secret hiding place. Abdominus, having big belly. Abducent, carrying or turning away especially of nerve or muscle. Abecedary, book arranged in alphabetical order elementary textbook. Abecedarian, member of 16th century German Anabaptist sect who refused to learn to read. Abele, white poplar. Aberdevin, siskin. Abernetti, unleavened biscuit. Aberrant, wandering, deviating especially from virtue, abnormal. Aberration, deviation, momentary mental lapse. Astronomy, apparent deviation from heavenly bodies through position due to movement of observer with the earth. Chromatic aberration, focusing of light of different colors at different points resulting in a blurred image. Spherical aberration, focusing at different points of rays passing through different parts of spherical lens. Ab extra, from outside. Ambient, tending to turn away or remove an organism from a stimulus or situation. Psychology, turning away or avoiding as of an answer. Abietic, pertaining to fir tree or resin. Abigail, archaic, a lady's maid. Ab initio, from the beginning. Abiogenesis, theory of generation of living from inanimate matter. Abiological, not involving or produced by inanimate things. Abiosis, absence of life. Abiotropy, physical degeneration, loss of vitality. Aviritate, medicine, reduce irritation or sensitiveness. Abirritation, loss of sensitiveness in tissues, debility. Abjure, abstain from, renounce. ablocate, wean,
Ablation, surgical removal, wearing away of rock or glacier, melting away of expandable part of spaceship or rocket. Ablator, heat shield of re-entry on rockets etc. which ablates, surgical instrument for removing tissue. Ablative, signifying agency, such grammatical case. Ablative absolute, Latin adverbial phrase formed by noun and adjunct, especially participle. Ablaut, special change or relation in vowel sound as in vowels of ring, rang, rang. Obligate, special papal envoy. Ablepsia, blindness. Abluent, medicine, cleansing substance. Ablution, act of washing, washing the face and hands, washing place. Abnegate, renounce. Aboma, South American snake, ring boa. Abomasum, fourth stomach of ruminants. Aboral, distant from or opposite to mouth. Aborigine, inhabitant from earliest times. Aboriginal, indigenous. Abortifacient, drug which brings about abortion. Abulia, loss of willpower. Abulumia, form of insanity marked by abulia. Ab ovo, from the egg, from the beginning. Ab ovo usque ad mala, from the egg to the apples, from the beginning to the end. Abrade, rub off, scrape, cause injury in this way. Abrasion, injury caused by or act of rubbing off, scraping, grease. Abrasive, cause or use in abrasion. Abreaction, removal of psychological complex. Abreuvoir, gap between stones in masonry, French watering place for animals. Abrogate, cancel, formally repeal. Abruption, breaking off a piece from a mass. Abscinde, cut off. Pair. Abscissa, thematics, horizontal distance of point from fixed line. Abscissin, a plant hormone causing the fall of leaves in autumn. Abscission, cutting off, separation especially of cells at the base of leaf stalk. Abscons, Roman Catholic, a dark lantern used in night offices. Abseil, descend a vertical face by using a rope. Absentee, one not present, worker absent from work, applied to landlord not living in country from which he derives his rent. Absenteeism, practice of such landlords, habitual absence from work. Absente reo, law the defendant being absent. Absinthe, wormwood, liquor flavored with wormwood. Absenteeism, condition due to excessive consumption of absinthe. Absent omen, may there be no evil omen, may no harm result. Absolutism, tyrannical government, principle of autocracy. Absolutory, absolving, forgiving. Absorptiometer, instrument measuring solubility of gases in liquid. Absquatulate, jocular decamp. Abstemious, practicing temperance, teetotal. Absterge, archive, wipe, clean, purify. Abstergent, cleansing such substance. Abstinent, abstemium, fasting. Abstruse, esoteric, difficult to understand. Ab urge condita, from the foundation of the city Rome in 753 BC. Abut, v adjacent to, lean upon. Abutment, supporting part of arc etc., part of bridge next to land. Abutals, land or parish boundaries. Abuter, proprietor of premises adjacent. Abay, archaic, pay penalty of aton por. Abyssal, biology, more than 300 fathoms below surface of sea. Academic, pertaining to academy, learned and practical. Academical, pertaining to university or other academy. Academicals, university costume. Academician, Member of Academy especially of arts. Academism, formalism. Acadue, cashew nut and tree, mahogany tree and timber. Acalep, kind of stinging jellyfish. Acantha, spine, spinous fin. Acanthaceous, spiny or prickly. Acanthus, kind of prickly herbaceous plant. Verse, breeches, architecture, leaf decoration used in Corinthian capital. A cappella, music of singing unaccompanied by instruments. Acariasis, infestation with mites or ticks that itch. Acaricide, substance killing mites. Acarpus, botany not yielding fruit. Acatalectic, metrically complete such verse line. Acatalepsy, state of being impossible to understand. Philosophy, skeptic doctrine that knowledge cannot be certain. Acaudate, lacking tail. Acaulescent, lacking a stem. Accelerator, in nuclear physics, a device producing a stream of high energy particles and focusing them on a target atom. Accelerometer, instrument measuring acceleration. Accensor, Roman Catholic acolyte. Accentor, hedge sparrow of other bird genus Pronelia. Acceptance, commerce, agreement to pay bill of exchange when due. Acceptance house, merchant banker. Acceptance for honor, taking up of bill of exchange by person other than drawer to protect honor of party to bill. Acceptilation, law, formal acknowledgement that a claim has been satisfied. Theology, God's acceptance of Christ's sufferings as complete atonement for sins of humanity. Accessis, honorable mention of one who comes nearest to a prize. Akshacatura, very short note played before a longer note, short appoggiatura. Accidents, signs of grain, inflections. Accident, logic, non-essential attribute not included in definition. Accidental, music sign indicating that the following note is to be raised or lowered as a departure from the key signature. Accipiter, a kind of hook, one of genus Accipiter. Accipitral, like such bird rapacious. Asismus, rhetorical device of pretending to refuse. Acclivity, slope upward. Accolade, award of honor, praise, ceremony of knighting, music, vertical line, coupling staves, architecture, chord molding. Accolent, obsolete neighboring. Accommodation, adjustment especially of eye muscles, adaptation, lodgings, loan. Accommodation bill, bill of exchange co-signed by a guarantor. Accommodation train, American train stopping at almost stations. Accouchement, childbirth. Accoucheur, male midwife. Accoucheuse, female midwife. Accouter, usually passive equipped cloth. Accoutrements, equipment. Accredit, attribute gained before attached officially. Accrementation, biology growth by addition of similar matter. Accrescent, botany growing larger even after flowering. Accretion growth especially by addition from outside. Accrue, increation by growth or addition. Accubation, obsolete act of state of reclining at table. Medicine accouchement. Acculturation, transfer or adoption of the cultural patterns of another group. Accumbent, botany of plants lying against something. Accumulator, in computers the electronic circuits that perform the calculations. Accusative, grammar, objective, case in declension of nouns. Accusatorial, law of a system where the judge is not the prosecutor. Akeldama, field or scene of bloodshed. Acephalus, lacking a head or a leader lacking the first syllable or foot of a hexameter. Asphalus, fetus lacking a head. Acerbity, bitterness, especially of feeling. Acerbate, to embitter, to make sour. Acerbic, harsh, bitter, sour. Aceric, pertaining to the maple. Acerus, like a needle. Acerus, without horns or antennae. Acervate, botany growing in hips clustered. Acervation, heaping up. Acervillin, like little hips. Acescent, becoming or tending to be sour. Acetabulum, cup like hollow on hip bone to receive thigh bone. Acetarius, applied to plants used in salads. Acetic, sour of vinegar. Acetic acid, acid of vinegar. Acetate, salt of acetic acid.
Acetated, treated with acetic acid. Acetify, turn or become sour, make into vinegar. Acetometer, instrument measuring strength of acetic acid or vinegar. Acetone, liquid obtained from maize or wood spirit used as solvent in the manufacture of chloroform, etc. Acetonemia, presence of acetone in blood. Acetose, sour of vinegar. Acetyl, the radical of acetic acid. Acetyl salicylic acid, aspirin. Achar, kind of pickles. Achara, salutation equivalent of Dircer in Ireland. Achites, a faithful friend. Achene, a small one-seeded fruit of a plant, naked seed. Acheval, on horseback, astride straddling. Achilles, ancient Greek hero, mighty soldier. Achilles heel, vulnerable spot. Achilles tendon, hamstring, tendon between calf and heel. Achlamideus, botany, having neither petals nor sepals. Achulus, lacking bile. Achondroplasia, condition where cartilage doesn't develop normal, resulting in dwarfism. Achor, medicine, archaic, eruption on the scalp. Achromat, chromatic lens, colorblind person. Achromatic, non-colored, free from chromatic aberration, music, having few accidentals. Achromatin, liquid plasmic substance in nucleus of cells, resistant to staining agents. Achromatopsia, blindness where only white, gray, and black are visible. Achromia, medicine pallor. Acrous, colorless. Acicula, a needle-shaped brachial spine or crystal. Acicular, having bristles or spines with scratch appearance. Acidometer, instrument for measuring amount and strength of acids. Acidophilic, easily stained by acid dyes, thriving in acid environment. Acidosis, medicine, excessively acid condition of blood and tissues. Acidulous, sharp or sour in taste or manner. Acerage, process of steel plating. Acerate, make into steel. Aciform, needle shape. Acinaciform, having shape of scimitar. Aciniform, shaped like cluster of grapes, full of seeds like a grape. Acinus, containing small seeds of drupes. Acipenser, sturgeon. Aclastic, non-refractive. Aclinic, applied to line passing through all points where there is no magnetic inclination. Aclinic line, magnetic equator. Acology, science of medical remedies. Acomia, baldness. Aconite, longwood or wolf's bane plant. Aconitin, poisonous alkaloid obtained from aconite. Acopic, medicine curative of fatigue. Acor, medicine stomach acidity. Acorps perdue, with lost body impetuously in desperation. Acosmisium, doctrine deny existence of universe distinct from God. Acotyledon, plant without differentiated seed lobes. Acometer, instrument measuring keenness of hearing. Acopsor, with sure stroke, certainly. Acusma, ringing noise in head. Acoustic, pertaining to the hearing to sound and its transmission, work by sound or echoes. Acoustician, expert in acoustics. Acoustics, science of sound loss, expertise or audibility of a building. Acquire, obtain, gain, come into the possession of. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS. Acquired taste, liking eventually gained for something that is not immediately or generally liked. Acquisition, act of acquiring thing acquired, process of locating by radar, etc. or by re-establishing contact with the spacecraft, satellite, etc. Acquisitive, eager to acquire material possessions. Acquittance, payment or release from debt, full receipt. Acracy, obsolete anarchy, disorder. Acrasia, impotence. Acriflavine, a brown red hydrochloride antiseptic for wounds. Acrimonious, bitter caustic angry. Acryptochromacy, color blindness. Acroamatic, esoteric, told only orally. Acrocephalus, having pointed skull. Acrodont, of a tooth, fused with the jaw, having such teeth. Acrogen, botany, any flowerless plant where growth takes place at the tip of the main stem. Acrolith, a statue with wooden trunk and stone head and extremities. Acrologic, pertaining to initials. Acromegaly, gigantism, enlargement of extremities, head, jaw, etc. due to excess secretion of the pituitary gland. Acromonogrammatic, applied to verse in which line begins with letter with which preceding line ended. Chronichal, astronomy, happening at sunset, especially of star whose rising is at sunset. Acronix, ingrowing nail. Acrophobia, dread of heights. Acropolis, fortified elevated part of ancient Greek city, the ancient citadel of Athens. Acroscopic, botany, facing or moving to apex. Acrospire, the first real shoot developing in a germinating grain seed. Acroteleutic, end of some, words added to end of some, doxology. Acroteric, pertaining to or affecting the extremities. Acroterion, architecture, ornament or its pedestal at the angle of pediment. Acrotic, pertaining to surface. Acrotism, failure of pulse. Actamer, a substance preventing the growth of bacteria in cosmetics and soaps. Actin, a protein found in most cells, especially in muscle. Actinide, one of a series of 15 consecutive radioactive elements. Actinism, property of solar radiation of causing chemical change. Actinic glass, glass opaque to actinic rays. Actinium, rare radioactive element. Actinochemistry, chemical study of actinism, photochemistry. Actinograph, instrument for calculating time of photographic exposures. Actinoid, star-shaped like rays. Actinology, science of chemical effects of light. Actinometer, instrument measuring heating power of the sun's rays. Photography, instrument for calculating exposure times. Actinomorphic, botany, having symmetrically radiated shape. Actinomycin, antibiotic produced by a soil fungus. Actinomycosis, parasitic disease in men and cattle resulting in inflammation of jaw, lumping jaw. Actinophone, instrument in which sound is produced by actinic rays. Actinotherapy, use of ultraviolet and other actinic rays in medical treatment. Actuary, expert on insurance statistics and tables of expectation of life. Actuate, set of a machine etc. in motion with the motive for. Actium ut supra, done as above. Accolate, botany bearing many sharp points. Zoology, having sting, incisive. Acculeiform, thorn shape. Acumen, quickness to perceive, shrewdness. Acuminate, pointed, tapering, sharpened, and end in point. Acuminulate, very sharply pointed, ending in minute point. Acupressure, traditional Sino-Japanese massage technique using pressure points to increase vitality, relieve pain, and strengthen autoimmune system. Medical pressing needle across blood vessel to stop hemorrhage. Akushla, term of addressing darling. Acutorsion, twisting artery with a needle to stop bleeding. Acynopsia, color blindness towards blue. Acyclic, not cyclic, botany not arranged in word. Chemistry, not containing a ring of atoms in its molecular structure of chemical compounds. Asyrology, obsolete, incorrect diction. Adactylus, lacking fingers, toes, or claws. Adactylia, congenital lack of toes or fingers. Adamant, exceptionally hard substance, impenetrable, immovable. Adaxial, on, beside, or turned towards axis of an organ, organism, or plant. Ad captandum, to capture the affection or suit the taste of the crowd. Addendum, something added, appendix. Adjo, adju. Additament, thing added. Adventitious, pertaining to or resulting from addition. Astronomy, applied to force increasing the gravitation between planet and satellite. Additive, pertaining to addition. Grammar, signifying addition of similar elements or of new thought. Philosophy, marked by addition rather than union, something added. Address, in computers, a character or symbol designating a location where the information is stored. Adduce, bring forward as evidence. Adjacent, drawing towards. Adduct, of muscles draw towards a central axis. Adeciduate, evergreen. Adelpogamy, form of marriage in which brothers share a wife or wives. Ademonis, person denying existence of demons or the devil. Ademption, law, revoking by testator, donor, etc. of legacy, donation, etc. by previously paying some or parting with object bequeathed. Adenia, medicine, enlargement of glands. Adeniform, gland shape. Adenitis, inflammation of glands. Adenoid, pertaining to or like gland. Adenoids, enlargement of lymphatic tissues at back of throat. Adenology, study of glands. Adenoma, usually non-lethal tumor of gland. Adenopathy, the glandular disease. Adenose, gland-like, having many glands. Adenotomy, incision into or removal of gland. Adenovirus, any of several cold-causing viruses. Adepagus, medicine, having morbid appetite for food. Adespoton, anonymous saying, poem, etc. Ad iundum gradum, admitted to same degree at different university. Adjux, for two only, music for two hands. Adivisem, denial of legendary gods. Ad finem, to the end. Ad hongvosem, to this world. Adherent, supporter, follower of a cause, etc. Adhibit grat, admittance to apply, attach. Ad hoc, to this, for the present purpose alone, not probable by reference to other phenomena. Ad hominem, to the man, appealing to prejudice or passions, illogical. Ad hanc locum, low at this place on this passage. Adiabatic, without losing or gaining heat. Adiabatic gradient, rate of change in temperature of rising or falling air. Adiabolis, person denying existence of the devil. Adiactinic, not transmitting actinic rays. Adiaporesis, absent or lack of perspiration. Adiaporitic, drug preventing perspiration. Adiaporon, matter of indifference. Theology, religious observations left to conscience, amoral matter. Adiaporism, belief in doctrine of adiapora. Adiaporistic, applied to certain controversies on the religious observances. Adiaporus, neutral, indifferent, neither right nor wrong of conduct, etc. Adiapneustia, defective, perspiration. Adiathermic, impervious heat. Agent, tending to expose an organism to or turn into towards a stimulus or situation. Ad infinitum, to infinity, forever, without limit. Ad interim, at interval. Meanwhile, for the present. Adios, adieu. Adipescent, becoming fatty. Adipic, chemistry, pertaining to fatty or greasy substance. Adiposere, fatty substance occurring in dead bodies in moist places. Adipose, fat, fatty. Adipose tissue, connective fat storing tissue. Adiposis, fatness, fatty degeneration. Adipsy, lack of thirst. Adipsus, medicine, quenching thirst. Adit, entrance, especially horizontal passage into mind. Adjunct, an addition that is not essential. Adjutator, helper. Adjuvant, helping medicine, remedial such drug. Ad libitum, at one's pleasure, as much or long as this music, according to desire or performer speak impromptu, especially of actors, jokes, words, etc., not written or rehearsed, or to replace forgotten lines, said on the spur of the moment, an ad-lib statement. Ad locum, at the place. Ad maxillary, near or connected with jaw. Ad measurement, act or result of measuring apportionment, dimensions. Ad mensuration, ad measurement. Adminical, law, aid support, corroboration. Numismatics, ornament round figure on coin. Adminiculate, corroborate. Admonish, reprove gently. Adnate, botany closely attached, related, grown together, especially unusually. Ad nauseam, to nausea, until disgust is felt. Ad nominal, of noun functioning as a. Ad nomination, obsolete pruning. Ad noun, adjective used as a noun. Adobe, ad burnt sun-dried black, dwelling of adobe, used for adobe, built of adobe. Adonic, pertaining to Adonis, applied to metrical foot, comprising a dactyl followed by a spundi or trochee. Adonize, ornament, adorn oneself of men. Adoptionism, doctrine that Christ was Son of God by adoption and not birth. Adoral, near to mouth. Adosculation, sexual impregnation by contact only, wind pollination. Adoxography, literature, fine writing on trivial or base subject. Adrectal, close to rectum. Adrem, to the thing, to the purpose pertinent. Adrenal, close to kidney, suprarenal, especially applied to ductless glands above kidneys. Adrenaline, hormone of adrenal gland, preparation from such secretion or synthetic drug used as hemostatic and heart stimulant. Adrenergic, released or activated by adrenaline. Adcititious, supplementary, auxiliary. Adsorb, attract and hold to surface minute particles of mixture or molecules of gas or liquid. Adsorbate, substance or molecules adsorb. Adsorbent, substance adsorbing. Adsum, I am present. Adulation, excessive flattery, object worship. Adumbral, shadowy. Adumbrate, shadow forth, outline, sketch out. Aduncus, hook shape, crook. Aduncity, inward curvature. Ad unguem, to the fingernail, to a nicety, with great exactitude, to minute detail. Adas, archaic, sunburned or scorched, dried up by bit, gloomy sand. Adsum, to usage, according to custom. Ad valorem, in proportion to value, especially of import duties of a percentage of the value of the imports. Advection, horizontal movement of an air mass causing temperature changes. Advent, afferent. Advenient, due to outside causes. Adventitious, medicine botany, added from without, not essential, accidental, casual, acquired. Adventive. Adventive, botany, plant not completely naturalized or growing out of natural habitat. Adverbum, to the word, word for word. Adversaria, collection of notes and comments, commonplace book. Adversative, grammar, word or clause expressing opposition or antithesis. Ad vitam aut culpam, to life or misdeed, as long as good behavior lasts. Advawi, ecclesiastal patron, holder of advowson. Advowson, the right to present a clergyman to a church living.
Adynamic, lacking strength, causing weakness. Adytum, inner sanctuary of temple, secret room. Adze, axe with rounded blade set at right angles to handle. Ideal, head of ancient Roman office of works. Ideality, idol's office. Ideology, study of generative organs. Aigagrus, mountain goat of Asia Minor. Aegilops, style in inner corner of eye. Aegis, protection shield especially of classical gods sponsorship auspices. Agrotat, he or she is ill, certificate of student's illness for absence from university lectures or examination. Agrotat degree, degree between to a student absent from examination by reason of illness. Ainus like brass. Aelian, pertaining to Ailus, the god of the winds carried or caused by wind. Aelian harp, musical instrument played by wind. Heliopile, first steam engine with globe made to revolve by steam jets, described in 1st century AD. Ailistic, long-winded. Ailotropic, having different physical properties in different positions or directions. Aeon, immeasurably long period of time. Geology, unit of time equal to 1,000 of a million years. Aepyornis, a large fossil bird of Madagascar. Aeriferenus, more lasting than brass. Aeriform, lacking substance, unreal gaseous. Aerobe, organism growing only in presence of oxygen. Aerobic, such growth or existence. Aerobiology, the biology of airborne particles and organisms. Aerodonautics, science of gliding. Aerodynamics, science of forces acting on bodies in motion in air. Aerodyne, heavier than air aircraft kept up by its movement through air. Aerofoil, section through aircraft wing, etc. Aerogel, a gel in which the liquid is replaced by a gas. Aerogenic, derived from air, gas forming. Aerolith, meteorite. Aerology, study of physical properties of atmosphere, especially meteorological. Aeromancy, divination by the state of the air, weather forecasting. Aeromechanics, science of mechanical properties of gases. Aerometer, instrument measuring weight or density of gases. Aerometry, such measurements, pneumatics. Aeronomy, study of chemical and physical phenomena in the upper atmosphere. Aeropose, level above surface of earth, above which ordinary aircraft cannot fly. Aeropagia, neurotic habit of swallowing air. Aerophilately, collecting of airmail stamps and covers. Aerophobia, fear of air and draughts. Aeropore, apparatus for inflating lungs, especially of stillborn child. Aerophyte, plant obtaining all nourishment from the air. Epiphyte. Aeroplostic, pertaining to aerial navigation. Aeroscopy, observation of varying air conditions. Aeros, brassy. Aerospace, the Earth's atmosphere and space beyond it. Aerosphere, the entire atmosphere surrounding the Earth. Aerostat, better than aircraft. Aerostatics, science of gases in equilibrium. Aerostation, navigation of aerostats. Aerotherapeutics, medical treatment by modifying atmospheric pressure. Aerotrain, monorail vehicle operated on principle of hovercraft. Aerugo, rust especially of copper and brass verdigris. Scolaceous, pertaining to or like horse chestnut, belonging to the horse chestnut family of plants. Aesthesia, sensibility, sense perception. Aesthesiogenic, causing sensation. Aesthesiometer, instrument measuring acuteness of sense perception. Aesthesis, sense perception, aesthesia. Aesthete, lover of beauty, especially to exaggerated degree. Aesthetic, pertaining to beauty or appreciation of beauty, or to pure sensation, science of aesthetic experience. Aestheticism, philosophy, doctrine that principle of beauty is alone fundamental. Aesthetics, department of philosophy dealing with beauty.
festival of summer, ice division, zoology, sleepiness in animals during summer, botany, arrangement of organs in flower bud, I thought, abbreviation of ano ititis sway, layer of his age, etiology, science of causes of natural phenomena, afebrile, free from fever, affect, have an effect on, influence, move emotionally, of disease, etc., attack, damage, make a show or pretense of, adapt, assume a manner, mood or emotional state, show a preference for, psychology, emotion especially at it leads to action, affectation, behavior, attitude, etc., adapted for effect, pretense, affected, unnatural, pretentious, contrive, affecting, touching, afferent, carrying towards, special of nerves, carrying impulses to centers, affiche, poster, placard, affidavit, written statement made on oath, affiliate, attached to, adapt into, unite, fix, fraternity of, on, or, affinal, related by marriage, affined, closely related, connected, affinity, close relationship, attraction, resemblance, relationship by marriage, chemistry, force causing elements to combine, affirmation, law, solemn declaration by person who refuses to take the oath for reasons of conscience, affirmant, person making affirmation, affix, element attached to or inserted into a word such a prefix or suffix attached append, afflatus, divine breath, inspiration, afflation, act of breathing upon inspiration, affluent, tributary to a river, afflux, flowing towards or together, a franchise, liberate from servitude, debt, etc., frightment, hiring of a ship to carry a freight such a contract, affricate, rub great on, phonetic sound as or comprising a stop developing into a fricative, affusion, pouring liquid on, especially in baptismal ceremony or as a medical treatment, aficionado, keen follower of sport, fun, aflatoxin, a toxin produced by a mold of cereals, peanuts, etc., affund, to the bottom, thoroughly, afroshary, by the stronger, with better reason all the more, afrit, in Arabian mythology, an evil spirit or giant monster, Afrormosia, a dense tropical hardwood resembling teak used for furniture and paneling. Afterbirth, membrane covering fetus expelled after birth. Afterdamp, poisonous gas, a mixture of carbon dioxide and nitrogen remaining after explosion of fire damp in mine, choke damp. Aga, religious leader in Muslim community, Turkish chief. Agalactia, medicine, absence or lack of milk secretion. Agami, crane-like bird of South America, the trumpeter. Agamic, non-sexual. Agamogenesis, non-sexual reproduction. Agamy, lack of marriage or sexual reproduction. Agape, love feast, an early Christian ceremony commemorating the Last Supper. Agar-agar, nutritive jelly obtained from seaweeds yielding this. Agaric, a species of mushroom like fungus. Agaraciform, mushroom shape. Agatheism, doctrine that ultimate end of all things is good, though means may be evil. Agave, several tropical American fiber yielding plants, American aloe. Agenesis, incomplete development of body or part of body. Agiotropic, botany, turning away from the earth. Apogeotropic. Agustia, medicine, sense of taste. Ager, earth rampant or bank, especially Roman. Ageration, heaping up, mound raised by prehistoric people when erecting standing stones. Ageros, in hips, having many hips. Aggiornamento, Roman Catholic, act or process of bringing up to date. Agglomerate, collect especially into a mass, so collected, clustered. Geology, rock comprised of angular volcanic fragments. Agglutinate, join firmly, thicken, make like glue, coagulate. Philology, make compound words by additions. Agglutinin, substance in blood causing coagulation. Agglutinogen, substance causing production of agglutinin. Agglutinative, applied to agglutinated words or languages containing many such words. Agio, charge made when cash is given for paper currency or one currency is exchanged for another. Agiotage, such exchange is speculation brokerage. Agis, law, care for, feed cattle, horses for payment. Agisment, this practice, pasture land available for this. Aglet, metal tag on lease or adornment. Botany catkin. Ugly, auri askew. Aglossal, zoology, lacking tongue. Agglutition, state of being unable to swallow. Agbinate, group. Agnail, hangnail, surat the nail with low. Agnate, having same male for father, allied, law, related on father's side such relative. Agnation, kinship. Agnatus, lacking Jews. Agnomen, additional name. Agnomission, surname, punning, alliteration. Agnosia, loss of ability to recognize familiar things or people. Agnostic, one who denies that there can be a knowledge of God or of supernatural things pertaining to agnostic, non-dogmatic. Agompus, toothless. Agon, struggle, contest, especially athletic, conflict between main characters in a play, novel, etc. Agonist, competitor, protagonist in literary work. Agonistic, competitive, striving for effect. Agonic, applied to the line drawn all places where magnetic north is the same as true north. Agoraphobia, morbid fear of open spaces. Agouti, any pig-like South American rodent having the brownish grizzled color of the agouti. Agrafe, hook especially on piano string to prevent rattle. Agranulocytosis, serious blood disease marked by a great reduction in the non-granular leukocytes. Agrapia, inability to write due to form of aphasia. Agrarian, pertaining to agriculture and the land, believer in the fallacy of equal distribution of land. Agrestial, growing in country fields especially of weeds. Agrestic, of the countryside, rustic, uncouth. Agricolis, obsolete farmer. Agriculus, agricultural. Agriology, study of customs of primitive peoples. Agrobiology, biology of crop plants in relation to soil control. Agrology, scientific study of soils. Agronomy, scientific management of land, especially of raising of crops. Agrostology, botany, study of grasses. Agrostography, description of grasses. Agrypnia, sleeplessness. Agrypnotic, stimulant causing wakefulness. Agargente, strong Spanish brandy distilled from potatoes, etc. Agenari, botany, lacking female organs. Ahimsa, principle of non-violence towards any living creature in Hinduism and Buddhism. Ahipnya, insomnia. Aid memoir, reminders, memorandum, diplomatic note clearly stating a governor's view, policy, etc. on a particular matter. Aiger, tidal wave in river, bore. Aigret, spray of feathers, any object in that shape, aigret. Aigil, needle, sharp point, pick. Aikido, Japanese martial art. Ailanthus, oriental tree, tree of heaven yielding food for silkworms. Ailantery, Ailanthus grove. Aileron, movable surface of aeroplane, special of wing move in steering. Aileropile, one fond of cats. Ailerophobe, one with dread of cats. Ain, Elnar Senior. Aili, garlic mayonnaise. Ait, small island in the river or lake, Ayot. Azure, towards day, decoratively pierced to admit light, applied to metal worklist, etc. Akinesia, paralysis of motor nerves. Ala, in the manner as. Ala, wing, wing shame projection. Alabamine, rare halogen-like element, number 85 now called astatine. Alabaster, formerly carbonate of lime, modern kind of gypsum from which the vases and boxes are made of alabaster, very smooth and white. Alabel etoile, under the beautiful star, in the open air at night. Alalia, loss of speech. Alamode, in fashion chic. Alamode, soft light silk, used in 19th century for shawls, dresses, etc. Alamort, to the death. Mortally. Alanin, an amino acid occurring in protein. Alary, like orb pertaining to a wing or shoulder. Alastrim, this is like formal form of smallpox. Alate, winged. Alation, state of having wings, disposition of wings in insect. Alodin, belonging to a bird family which include the skylark-like or pertaining to skylark. Alb, long white frizzly garment. Albacore, several tani-like marine fishes, tani. Albedo, degree of whiteness. Photography, reflecting power of a surface. Astronomy, the ratio of light reflected from a body to a total amount it receives from the sun. Albedometer, instrument measuring albedo. Albescent, becoming white, whitish. Albicans, growing white. Albication, formation of white patches in plants. Albificative, able to whiten. Albiflorous, having white flowers. Albino, person or animal with white skin and hair and pinkish eyes, flank deficient in pigment. Albion, old name for Britain. Alborado, morning song. Albuginea, white of eye, white fibrous tissue. Albuginous, like white of eye or egg. Albugo, medicine, white spot on cornea of eye, glaucoma, botany, white rust. Albumen, white of egg, substance surrounding embryo and seed. Albumin, protein-forming chip, constituent of animal and plant tissues. Albuminate, kind of protein resulting from action of acid or alkali on albumins, compound of albumin with other substance. Albuminoid, like albumin, protein several substances like protein. Albuminous, pertaining to albumin or albumin. Albuminuria, presence of albumin in urine. Alburnum, sapwood. Alkite, written in a 4-line verse, each line of which has 4 feet. Alcade, governor of Spanish Moors, etc., prison or port. Alcalde, Spanish sheriff, mayor, etc. Alcazar, palace, castle, citadel, especially that of Toledo. Alcoholometer, instrument measuring alcoholic strength of liquids. Al dente, of pasta cooked but still firm. Aldrin, chemical pesticide that use of which was forbidden in the UK in 1964. Aleatoric, of electronic music with random elements inside a framework. Aleatory, dependent on chance, pertaining to gambling or luck. Aliconer, officially formerly charged with supervision of selling and testing ale and beer. Alicos, herb formerly used to flavor ale, cosmary. Alitriomachy, cockfighting. Aligar, sour ale, malt vinegar. Alembic, Asian distilling apparatus, purifying or transforming apparatus or act. Alembicate distill. Alembicated, rather too refined of literary style. Aleph, first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Aletiology, study of nature of truth. Aleurometer, instrument measuring gluten content of flour. Aleuron, protein granules in plant seeds, external protein layer of cereal seeds. Alevin, young fish, especially salmon just hatched. Alexandrine, type of verse having 6 iambics, kind of mosaic invented by Alexander Severus, Emperor of Rome. Alexandrite, a gemstone, a green variety of chrysoberyl. Alexia, inability to read due to aphasia. Alexiparmic,
antidote against poisoning. Alexipyretic, drug curative of fever. Alexitheric, preventive of contagion, antidote against poison. Alfalfa, clover-like forage crop, lucerne. Algae, seaweed, division of cryptogamic plants. Algaroba, carob mesquite. Algarobi, staff obtained from carob tree. Algazelle, horned antelope of Nigeria. Algedonic, pertaining to pain especially in association with pleasure. Algefacient, cooling. Algesia, sensitiveness to pain. Algesic, feeling pain. Algesimeter, instrument for measuring pain. Algetic, causing pain. Algid, chilly especially during fever. Algific, making cold. Alginuresis, medicine, painful urination. Algiborous, feeding on algae. Algogenic, producing pain, reducing body temperature. Algolagnia, taking sexual pleasure in inflicting or injuring pain. Algophobia, morbid dread of pain. Algor, coldness, shivering fit in fever. Algorithm, art of calculating especially in Arabic numeration arithmetic. Algorithm, step by step of solving a problem, especially in computers. Algus, pertaining to algae. Alias, otherwise called assumed name. Alibi, plea that at the time when act was committed, one was elsewhere than at the place where act was committed. Proof of such a plea. Alibol, archaic, nourishing. Alicyclic, denoting organic compounds that are both aliphatic and cyclic, that is, aliphatic in chemical behavior but having their carbon atoms in a ring. Alidade, instrument used in surveying and navigation. Alienism, obsolete, study of mental disease. Alienist, obsolete expert in alienism, American psychiatrist specializing in legal aspects of mental illness. Aliferous, having wings. Aliform, like a wing. Aligerous, winged. Aliment, food nourishment. Alimental, affording food. Alimentary, pertaining to food nourishing. Alimentation, act of feeding or being fed. Alimentative, nourishing. Alimentotherapy, medicine, treatment by dieting. Aliped, having wing feet such an animal. Aliphatic, pertaining to fat, chemistry applied to group of organic compounds including the fats having open chair structure. Aliquot, number not divided exactly into another number not aliquot. Aliquot, number contain an exact number of times in another number, equal share divided into equal parts. Aliter, otherwise law requiring a different rule. Alizary, red dye formerly obtained from mother root. Alk, resin obtained from turpentine tree. Alkahes, universal solvent sought by alchemists. Alkalescent, somewhat alkaline. Alkali, chemistry, substance having property of neutralizing acids. Alkalify, change into alkali. Alkalimeter, instrument measuring strength or amount of alkali in mixture. Alkaline, pertaining to, like or consisting of alkali. Alkalize, make alkaline. Alkaloid, nitrogenous basic compound of vegetable origin. Alkalosis, abnormally high alkalinity of blood and tissues. Alkanet, Dyer's buglus, red dye obtained from that plant. Alkalometry, measurement of alkaloids, administration and dosage of alkaloids. Alliantiasis, sausage poisoning. Alliantoic, pertaining to alliantois, sausage shape. Alliantois, sac-like fetal membrane developing into umbilical cord and forming part of placenta. Alliative, grammar, case expressing motion towards. Allegory, story or another representation in which the subject is expressed metaphorically or personified parable. Allegorism, interpreting scripture as allegory. Allele, biology, one of a pair of alternative contrasting inheritable characteristics, gene carrying that characteristic. Allergen, substance causing allergy. Allergy,
Medicine, abnormal sensitivity towards a substance of germ due to prior inoculation with that substance or germ. Anaphylaxis, abnormal sensitivity to example pollen dust, etc. Alliaceous, having smell or taste of garlic, belonging to the onion family of plants. Alligation, act or state of attaching or being attached. Arithmetic, archaic method of solving mixture problems, rule of mixtures. Allision, intentional collision, especially of ships. Alliteration, literary device wherein several or all words in phrase or sentence begin with the same sound. Allocatur, law, certificate of allowance of cost. Allochromatic, pertaining to change of color, variable in color. Alacrus, changing in color. Allochthonous, not autochthonous, form elsewhere. Allocution, authoritative or exhortatory address. Roman Catholic, formal papal address to College of Cardinals. Allogium, property under absolute ownership, freehold American states in fee simple. Alloerotism, psychology, love of other person or object, opposite of autoerotism. Allogamy, cross-fertilization. Allogenous, different in kind. Allograph, surgical graft from a non-identical donor. Allograph, writing especially signature for another, opposite of autograph. Allolalia, form of aphasia in which words are spoken at random. Allomerism, chemistry, variation in constitution without variation in form. Allometry, study of growth of a part of an organism in the relation to the whole. Allonge, commerce, slip of paper attached to bill of exchange for additional endorsements. Allonym, other person's name assumed by writer, work published under an allonym. Allopathy, medicine, treatment of disease by remedies producing symptoms different from those of disease treated. Opposite of homeopathy, medical treatment using all methods found successful. Allophone, any of several speech sound regarded as variants of a given phoneme. Allopurinol, synthetic drug used against gout. Allosematic, having imitative protective coloration. Allotheism, worship of strange gods. Allotrope, existence of an element in more than one form. Allotrope, form taken by allotropic element, allotropic. Alluvion, impact of water on shore, flood, alluvium. Alluvium, matter deposited by river or flood. Almagest, comprehensive treatise or textbook especially in astronomy, generally the treatise of Ptolemy. Alma mater, fostering mother, one school or university. Almandine, kind of violet, colored garnet. Almira, furniture for storing, example cupboard or chest. Almoner, official who distribute alms, obsolete hospital official who interviews prospective patients, etc. Almonry, place for alms distribution. Almocantar, astronomy, circle of celestial sphere, parallel with horizon, parallel of altitude, telescope that in rotating sweeps out curves of this kind. Alnico, trademark, permanent magnet alloy of aluminum, nickel, and cobalt with some iron and sometimes copper. Aloe, bitter fruit of several plants used in the preparation of purgative. Allotic, pertaining to aloe. Allogia, speech defect due to brain lesion, etc. Allogism, illogical statement. Alopecia, baldness. Alopecia areata, loss of hair in small patches. Alopecoid, fox-like. Alpenglow, reddish light at sunset or sunrise on mountain tops, especially occurring before appearance or after disappearance of sun. Alpestrine, pertaining to alpine zone. Alpha, first letter of Greek alphabet. Alpha and omega, first and last, entirely quintessence. Alpha particle, positively charged particle, the nucleus of a helium atom. Alpha ray, a ray or beam of alpha particles. Alpha wave, variation in frequency of brain wave associated with drowsiness. Alphanumeric, composed of letters and digits. Alposis, medicine, lack of skin pigmentation. Alpsyche, pink flower clover grown as forage.
Alcinaceous, like or pertaining to chickweed, belonging to chickweed family of plants. Alt, music, note in first octave above the treble stave. Altarage, offerings at altar, payment for masses for dead, certain payments to priests. Altazimuth, instrument measuring altitude and azimuth of heavenly bodies. Alterative, causing change, medicine, changing gradually to healthy state, drug or other treatment, changing nutritional processes. Altercation, heated argument, quarrel. Alter ego, other self, close friend, confidant. Alterity, state of being different. Alternator, machine generating alternating electric current. Althea, Rose of Sharon, genus containing hollyhock, mallow, etc. Alting, Parliament of Iceland. Altiloquence, pompous high-sounding speech. Altimeter, instrument for taking or showing altitude. Altisonant, high-sounding pompous. Altissimo, music note in the second octave above the treble stave. Altivolant, flying high. Altorelievo, carving in high relief, that is in which the figures etc. project more than half their proportions from the background. Altruism, principle of regard for others, self-sacrifice. Alula, part of a bird's wing corresponding to thumb. Alum, sulfate of aluminum used in dyeing as in astringent etc. Alumina, oxide of aluminum. Aluminate, chemical compound of aluminum oxide and other metal. Aluminum, light malleable white metal resistant to organic salts obtained by heating aluminum oxide. Aluminize, to coat with aluminum. Aluminosis, lung disease due to inhaling aluminum dust. Aluminous, pertaining to alumina or aluminum. Alumnus, graduate of university or college. Alveary, beehive, outer canal or ear. Alveola, botany, small cavity especially in the surface of an organ. Alveolar, pertaining to albulus, varying alveoli, phonetics pronounced with tongue and albulus sound so pronounced. Alveolar arch, tooth-bearing part of upper jaw. Albulate, having many deep cavities like a honeycomb. Albulus, anatomy, small cavity, tooth socket, air cell, etc. Phonetics, upper front tooth ridge. Alvidicus, purgative. Albine, obsolete, pertaining to belly or intestines. Amadelphus, gregarious. Amadu, form of tinder prepared from fungi, punk. Ama, female servant or nanny especially in the Far East. Amalgam, alloy of mercury and other metal, especially silver, used to fill teeth blend. Amandine, albumin in seed almonds, cold cream composed of that substance. Amanita, any of the fungi in the genus Amanita, including many highly poisonous ones. Amanus, lacking hands. Amanuensis, employee who reads from dictation, secretary. Amaranth, mythology, plant that never fades, love lies, bleeding, purple color. Amaranthine, unfading, eternal purple. Amarthritis, arthritis of several joints. Amaryllis, Belladonna lily, any of several similar plants, poetic name for country girl. Amatib, amorous. Amatol, explosive composed of TNT and ammonium nitrate. Amaurosis, loss of sight without noticeable change in eye due to failure of optic nerve, gota serena. Ambages, archaic, circuitous path or approach, circumlocution. Ambari, fiber-yielding plant of East Indies, kenaf. Ambergris, substance obtained from intestines of sperm whale, found in the sea and used in perfumes. Ambience, particular atmosphere of a place. Ambidextrous, able to use both hands with equal facility. Ambient, surrounding ambience. Ambiguous, of uncertain meaning. Ambilavus, ambisinister. Ambilateral, of both sides. Ambisinister, left-handed in both hands, awkward. Ambit, scope limits.
Ambivalence, simultaneous attraction and repulsion. Ambivert, someone who is both extroverted and introverted. Amblyopia, partial loss of sight not due to disease of eyes, early stage of amaurosis. Ambo, raised place or pulpit in early Christian church. Ambrosia, mythology, food of the gods, any very pleasant food. Ambri, niche, containing sacred vessels in chancel. Ambs ace, double ace, lowest score, bad luck. Ambulant, walking, continuing active, moving about from place to place. Ambulatory, enclosed space, especially in monastery for walking, pertaining to walking. Amebicide, substance killing amoebas. Amidamni, lost soul, dupe, tool, devoted follower. Amelification, formation of tooth enamel. Ameloblast, enamel producing cell of tooth. Amenable, easily persuaded to agree or yield. Amende, fine, reparation. Amende honorable, public apology, full reparation for dishonor. Amenity, attractiveness, pleasantness, pleasant condition or surroundings, pleasant or useful services. Amenorrhea, abnormal absence or arrest of menstruation. Mensa et toro, table and bed, applied to judicial separation of husband and wife. Amen, catkin. Amentaceous, like or composed of catkins. Amentiferous, varying catkins. Amentiform, catkin shape. Amentia, severe, usually congenital mental deficiency. Amerce, obsolete, punished, especially by fine. Americium, artificial element number 95 made by bombarding uranium or plutonium with helium ions. Ametropia, abnormality in optical refraction resulting in ability to focus images on the retina. Amianthus, asbestos with silky fibers. Amice, Roman Catholic with linen square covering shoulders of celebrant priest. Amicide, murder or murderer of a friend. Omicron, one of the smallest microscopically detectable particles. Amicus curiae, friend of the court, persons invited or allowed to assist court on the points of law. Amigo, friend. Amine, compound derived from ammonia. Amino acid, one of many acids forming the principal ingredients of protein. Aminobutane, synthetic pain relieving drug less addictive than morphine. Amitosis, direct cell division. Ammeter, instrument measuring amperage of electric current. Ammonite, fossil cephalopod world shell. Amophilus, sun-loving. Ammotherapy, medical treatment by sunbaths. Amnesia, loss of memory. Amniocentesis, process of obtaining sample of amniotic fluid from womb of pregnant woman in order to check for gender or abnormalities. Amnion, innermost membrane enclosing fetus. Amniota, vertebrates having amnion. Amniotic fluid, fluid surrounding the fetus in the womb. Amoeba, unicellular animal composed of microscopic mass of naked protoplasm, lowest form of animal life. Amoebian, applied to verse in which two persons speak alternately. Amoebiform, shaped like an amoeba. Amoreto, in art, plump little boat representing Cupid, Puto. Amorphous, without shape, irregularly shaped, chemistry lacking crystalline structure, biology lacking differentiation in structure, geology not divided into strata. Amortize, nullify depth by forming a sinking fund. Amortizement, architecture, topmost member of a building, slanting top of the buttress, etc. Amortization. Amour, love affair, especially illicit. Amoret, petty amour. Amour propre, self-love, love respect. Ampelidius, of or like the vine. Ampelotherapy, medicine grape cure. Amperage, strength of an electric current measured in amperes. Ampere, unit of intensity of electric current, current produced by 1 volt acting through resistance of 1 ohm. Ampere hour, unit of quantity of electric current, quantity flowing in 1 hour at 1 ampere. Ampersand, sign, and for end. Amphetamine, drug which stimulates the central nervous system, used in medicine to relieve depression and to control appetite in case of obesity, the chief ingredient of pep pills. Amphibian, animal able to live both on land and in water, vehicle able to alight on or take off from or to travel on both land and water. Amphibious, amphibian. Amphibole, rock-forming silicate similar to asbestos and hornblende. Amphibolic, able to turn backwards or forwards, especially of joints and leaves, ambiguous like amphibole. Amphibolite, rock composed of amphibole, hornblende. Amphibology, ambiguous speech, equibation, quibble. Amphibrac, metrical foot of one short, one long and one short syllable. Amphichromatic, producing two colors. Amphicoleus, zoology, having both surface concave. Amphictyonic, applied to ancient Greek council of state deputies. Amphictyony, league of adjacent states. Amphicryctic, with both sides convex. Amphigean, occurring in both hemispheres, botany with flowers arising from root stock. Amphigony, sexual reproduction. Amphigory, a nonsense verse or burlesque composition with no meaning. Amphilogism, circumlocution. Amphimacer, metrical foot comprising one long, one short, and one long syllable. Cretic. Amphimesis, interbreeding, joining of germplasm of two individuals in sexual reproduction. Amphipodous, zoology, having both walking and swimming feet. Amphiprostyle, building with columns at each end but not at sides. Amphirenal, with two nostrils. Amphisbaena, mythology, double-headed serpent able to move in both directions, kind of worm-like lizard. Amphibian, inhabitant of tropics whose shadow falls in different ways according to the time of year. Amphiborous, both carnivorous and herbivorous. Amphora, vase with two handles of Greek or Roman origin, standard liquid measure of 9 gallons Greek and 6 gallons Roman. Amphoric, applied to sound made by blowing into an amphora or sound resembling that. Amphoteric, of both kinds, chemistry, reacting as either alkali or acid. Ampicillin, an improved form of penicillin taken by mouth. Amplexus, the mating embrace of frogs and toads. Ampliative, supplementary. Amplitude, the maximum extent of a vibration or oscillation measured from the position of equilibrium. Ampulla, ancient Roman plus with two handles and globular body. Anatomy, sac-like swelling at the end of duct. Ampullaceous, of or like an ampulla. Amictic, medicine irritating. Amygdala, any almond-shaped formation in body, example, tonsil. Amygdalin, glucoside in bitter almonds used as an expectorant. Amygdaline, pertaining to almonds, pertaining to tonsils. Amygdaloid, basaltic rock with almond-shaped cavities, almond shape. Amylaceous, starchy. Amylase, enzyme that helps to break down starch. Amyloid, food containing starch, starchy, applied to disease in which lardaceous substance arises from degenerated cells. Amylolysis, conversion of starch into soluble products in digestive process. Amylopsin, digestive ferment in pancreatic juice. Amylose, component of starch. Amyotonia, deficiency of muscle tone. Ana, collection of sayings by or stories and facts about a person, often a suffix, example, Dickensiana. Anabaptized, believer in adult baptism. Anabaptism, such belief, rebaptism. Anabas, African and Asian fish which can leave the water. Anabasis, upward journey, military advance inland, especially of Persians and Greek under Cyrus 401 BC. Medicine, first phase of disease, increase of fever. Anabatic, ascending, meteorology of wind moving upwards. Anabiosis, return to life after seeming death. Anableps, tropical American fish that swims with its eyes half out of the water. Anabolic steroid,
Any of several synthetic hormones used by athletes to improve their strength and muscles or for medical purposes. Anabolism, constructive chemical processes in living creatures. Anacardic, pertaining to cashew nut. Anacathartic, drug causing vomiting. Anachronism, something out of place in or foreign to a country. Anachronic, out of chronological order, out of date. Anachronism, error in chronology, special updating event for its correct date, impossible or absurd by reason of such error. Anaclitic, of relationships marked by dependence on another or other people of sexual desire dependent on another, non-sexual instinct such as hunger. Anacoluton, grammar lack of sequence, passing to a new subject or sentence construction without completing first one. Anaconda, phyton of South America and Sri Lanka, any boa-like snake. Anacreontic, of verse in the style of Anacreon, phrasing love and wine such as a poem. Anacrusis, unaccented syllables at the beginning of first lines of such notes at the beginning of piece of music. Anadem, ban ret fillet. Anadiplosis, rhetorical device of repetition of plus word of one clause at the beginning of next. Anadipsia, medicine, abnormal tears. Anadromus, ascending, especially of fish that ascend rivers to spawn. Anemia, lack of red blood cells, loss of vitality, validity. Primary anemia, disease resulting in rapid destruction of red corpuscles. Anemotropy, insufficient nourishment of blood. Aneretic, medicine, destructive. Anaerobe, organism able to live without or unable to live in presence of oxygen. Anaerophyte, botany, anaerobic plant. Anesthesia, loss of feeling, consciousness, of causing such a state of medical purposes. Anesthesiology, study of anesthesia. Anesthetize, cause of anesthesia. Anesthetis, British doctor specializing in administering anesthetics. Anagalactic, astronomy, beyond our galaxy, not galactic. Anagenesis, tissue regeneration. Anaglyph, ornament in bas-relief, stereoscopic pictures in complementary colors viewed through glasses, etc. of same colors one to each eye. Anaglyptics, art of carving anaglyphs. Anagnorisis, denouement in play arising from recognition. Anagogy, spiritual exaltation, mystical interpretation of sacred works such as the Bible. Anagogical, mystical. Anal, pertaining to or near the anus. Analex, collection of writings, literary gleanings. Analemna, graduated scale in figure of 8, showing difference between actual time and that shown by the sun. Analeptic, medicine, restorative. Analgesia, absence of pain. Analgetic, drug arresting pain. Analgeia, analgesia. Analagmatic, mathematics, unchanged in shape by inversion. Analogous, similar in some respect, corresponding in function. Analog, American computers analog, analogous thing, word in other language with same use or meaning of a quantity or a device changing continuously rather than in a series of steps. Analog computer, one calculating by physical quantities, example voltage equivalent to numerical variables. Analogy, close similarity, a similar case used in reasoning. Analogism, reasoning by quoting analogies. Analphabet, illiterate person. Anamnesis, act of reminiscence, history of medical case. Anamorphic, of optical device or image produced by it, magnifying or being magnified differently in two different directions, changing into a more complex form. Anamorphosis, distorted image only recognizable if viewed through appropriate device, method of making such images. Biology, evolution by slow changes. Botany, abnormal change of shape. Anamorphoscope, device for viewing anamorphosis. Ananas, pineapple. Anandrius, impotent. Anandrous, botany without stamens. Ananthus, having no flowers. Anonym, name written backwards as pseudonym. Anames, metrical foot of 2 short syllables followed by 1 long syllable. Anaphora, rhetorical device of repeating word or phrase at the beginning of successive clauses. Anaphoric, grammar, referring to word occurring earlier. Anaphrodisia, absence of sexual desire. Anaphrodisiac, drug reducing sexual desire. Anaphrodisiac, asexually produced. Anaphylaxis, allergy, extreme sensitivity caused by a previous inoculation. Anaplasia, reversion of plant or animal cells to a simpler form. Anaplasty, plastic surgery. Anaplastic, pertaining to anaplasty, pertaining to anaplasia. Anaptotic, philology with weakened or no case inflections. Anaptysis, insertion of a vowel between two consonants for ease of the pronunciation. Anarthus, zoology, non-jointed, grammar without the article of Greek nouns. Anasarcus, dropsical. Astigmat, an anastigmatic lens. Astigmatic, not astigmatic, corrective of astigmatism. Anastomosis, intercommunication between branches of blood vessels, nerves, etc. or of fibers, formation of network. Anastrophe, rhetorical device for reversing natural order of words in version. Anathema, curse, generally by ecclesiastical authorities, act of cursing, thinkers, object of hatred. Anotocism, compound interest, taking such interest. Anatomy, study of structure of body, art of dissecting structure analysis, skeleton, very thin person. Anatomize, dissect, analyze. Anaudia, loss of voice. Anbori, soft tumor of horses, finger and toe disease or turnips clubroot. Anchoret, hermit ascetic. Anchusa, genus of plants including borage and alkanet. Asian regime, political and social state before the French Revolution, former general evil times. Ancillary, subordinate auxiliary. Ancipital, having two pieces or edges, double-headed, twofold. Ancestroid, having shape of hook. Ancon, architecture, one of a pair of brackets supporting a cornice. Anconal, pertaining to the elbow. Anconoid, like an elbow. Anchoral, like an anchor hook. Ancres, female anchorite. Ankylostomiasis, infestation with hookworms leading to anemia. Andiron, support for logs, fire irons, or spit fire dog. Androcentric, revolving around men, regarding the male sex as primary. Androcephalus, with human head. Androcracy, domination of society by men. Androgen, botany, substance producing masculine characteristics, male sex hormone. Androgyne, hermaphrodite, effeminate man, masculine woman. Androgynous, hermaphrodite. Android, machine in form of human being, robot man-like. Andromedotoxin, a poisonous substance extracted from plants of the health family and used in medicine to lower high blood pressure. Andromorphous, human shape or appearance. Andropagus, cannibal. Androphilic, preparing the male sex or humans rather than animals. Androphobia, dread or hatred of men. Androponomania, homicidal mania. Androporus, zoology, having male organs. Androsphinx, figure with man's head and lion's body. Androsterone, androgenic steroid male hormone. Anecdotage, jocular, tendency to garrulity in old age. Anechoic, free from echoes and reverberation, sound absorbent. Anele, archaic anoint, administer extreme unction to. Anemochord, kind of pianoforte having strings vibrated by air currents. Anemograph, recording anemometer. Anemogram, record made by an anemograph. Anemometer, instrument measuring strength and speed of wind. Anemophilus, botany, pollinated by wind. Anemophobia, morbid dread of high winds, hurricane, etc. Anemoscope, any instrument indicating direction of wind. Anencephaly, state of lacking a brain or part of a brain. Anent, archaic or stout, archaic or jocular, about, concerning. Anenterus, lacking intestine or stomach. Anergy, absence of energy, loss of immunity. Aneroid, not using liquid. Aneroid barometer, instrument measuring atmospheric pressure by recording the movements of the surface of an airtight box. Anesis, medicine, abatement of symptoms, music, tuning to lower pitch. Aneurine, thiamine. Aneurysm, abnormal swelling of blood vessel. Anfractuous, botany, wavy, snake-like spiral shape. Angary, right of belligerent to take or destroy property of neutral subject to compensation. Angelica, aromatic plant yielding oil used in medicine and cookery, sugared stalks of angelica. Angelolater, worshipper of angels. Angelology, study of angels and their hierarchy. Angelus, prayers said at early morning, noon, and sunset. Angelus bell, bell calling to prayers at such times. Angitis, medicine, inflammation of vessel. Angina, quinsy, any inflammation of throat or trachea. Angina pectoris, spasm of the chest resulting from the disease of heart or arteries. Angiography, technique for x-raying major blood vessels using dye opaque to x-rays. Angioid, like blood or lymph vessel. Angiology, study of blood and lymphatic system. Angioma, tumor due to dilated blood vessels. Angiomatosis, state of having many angiomas. Angiospasm, sudden contraction of blood vessels. Angiospatic, substance causing angiospasm. Angiosperm, flowering plant with seeds in closed seed vessel, natural division containing plants of such kind, the highest forms of plant life. Angiotomy, dissection or of incision into blood vessel. Anglicism, characteristic English word or phrase found in another language, characteristic of English people or culture. Anglophone, person speaking English. Angora, long-haired goat of Asia Minor, material made from Angora hair, long-haired of cat, rabbit, etc. Angostura, Brazilian tree and its bark, tonic fluid extracted from the bark. Angst, general feeling of anxiety or anguish at the state of world. Angstrom, physics, unit of length of light waves, 100 million of a centimeter, or of electromagnetic radiations, 1/10 of a millimicron. Angiform, having shape of snake. Anguilliform, having shape of eel. Anguine, archaic, pertaining to or like a snake. Angulation, shape having angles, exact measurement of angles. Angulate, having angles. Anhedonia, inability to be happy. Anhedral, denoting the angle at which the main planes of an aircraft are inclined downwards to the lateral axis. Anhelation, archaic, shortness of breath. Anhydrosis, lack or absence of perspiration. Anhydrotic, drug checking perspiration. Aniconic, without idols of objects of worship, portrayed symbolically rather than representationally. Aniconism, worship of object symbolizing but not representing God, iconoclasm. Anijan, of an embryo shapeless. Anil, West Indian plant yielding indigo. Indigo. Anile, like a very old woman, imbecile. Aniline, poisonous substance obtained from indigo, nitrobenzene, etc. used in the manufacture of dyes, applied to dye, prepared with aniline. Anility, state of being anile. Anima, psychology, the inner self, the feminine principle as represented in the masculine subconscious. Animadvert, take notice, comment, criticize, reprove. Animalcule, archaic, microscopic animal or erroneously plant. Animatism, belief that inanimate objects, etc. have personality and will but not soul. Animative, giving life. Animism, belief in the possession of a soul by inanimate objects, belief in existence of soul separate from matter, spiritualism. Animosity, active dislike, hostility. Animus, strong hostility, law, intention, psychology, the masculine principle as represented in the feminine subconscious. An ion, negatively charged ion. Anice, Egyptian plant yielding aniseed. Anisate, flavor with aniseed. Aniseed, dried fruit of aniseed, cordial made from it. Anisometropia, condition of ice having an equal refractive power. Anisostenic, of an equal strength. Anchor, liquid measure especially Dutch of 8.5 imperial gallons cask holding that amount. Ang, cross with a loop in the place of the top vertical presenting in ancient Egypt life. Ankus, elephant goad with hook and spike. Ankylosis, joining together of bones or hard parts resulting stiffness. Ankylose, of bones to fuse or stiffen in this way. Ankylostoma, lockjaw. Ankyroid, having shape of hook. Unlace, short double-edged sword or long dagger. Ana, coin valued at 16 part of rupee, 1/16. Anates, first fruits, ecclesiastical, a year's income of benefice. Anato, reddish dye used for coloring foodstuff, tropical American tree from seeds of which it is obtained. Anyal, strengthen, temper, especially by subjecting to great heat and slow cooling. Anectant, connecting, biology linking especially of species. Annelid, worm, composed of annular segments. Annihilate, totally destroy, reduce to nothing. Anno Domini, in the year of the Lord, in the Christian era, jocular old age. Anno Hegirae, in the year of the Hegira, Mohammedan date. Annomination, play on words, pun. Anno Mundi, in the year of the world, dating from creation fixed by Archbishop Osher at 4004 BC. Anno Orbis Conditi, in the year of the creation of the earth. Anno Regni, in the year of her reign. Anno's visit, lived so many years, was age. Anno Tin, 1 year old, especially bird after first molt. Anno Orbis Condite, in the year of the foundation of the city of Rome, dated at 753 BC. Annuen, nodding, especially of muscles that nod the head. Annuity, yearly income, especially for life. Annuitant, person receiving annuity. Anal, cancel, invalidate, destroy. Annular, pertaining to, forming or having shape of a ring. Annular eclipse, eclipse of sun in which a ring of its surface surrounds the moon. Annulate, marked with rings, having rings of color. Annulary, annulet, small ring, architecture, fillet or ring round column, especially on Doric capital. Annulism, ring structure. Annulus, ring composed of rings. Annulus, anything having shape of ring. Annunciate, announce, proclaim. Annunciation, announcement of the incarnation to Mary, Mother of Jesus, feast celebrated on Lady Day, March 25. Annunciation lily, Madonna lily. Annus mirabilis, extraordinary year, especially in England 1666. Annoa, wild ox of Celebes. Annobid, one of the family of beetles which includes the death watch and the furnitured beetle. Anocathartic, drug causing vomiting or expectoration. Anode, electricity, positive terminal, electrode by which current enters or to which electrons flow. Anodize, coat with protective peel electrolytically. Anodon, hingeless and toothless bivalve, freshwater mussel. Anodontia, absence of teeth. Anodyne, a drug reducing pain or mental distress. Anodynia, absence of pain. Anoia, visibility. Noesis psychology, mere reception of impression without understanding or intellectual effort. Anestrus, period between two periods of sexual activity in animals. Anetic, pertaining to anesis. Anogenic, geology, formed from velo, plutonic. Anole, chameleon-like West Indian and American lizard. Anolite, electricity, version of electrolyte about anode. Anomalism, state or instance of being anomalous, anomaly. Anomalistic, astronomy, pertaining to anomaly. Anomalistic month, interval between two periods of moon. Anomalistic year,
interval between two perihelion passages of Earth. Anomaloscope, device for testing for color blindness. Anomalous, self-contradictory, abnormal, out of harmony, irregular. Anomaly, something that is anomalous. Astronomy, the angle between the planet, the sun, and the perihelion of the planet. Anomy, state in a society where normal social standards have deteriorated or been lost. State in an individual lacking usual moral standards, leading to disorientation and isolation. Anon, archaic or literary, presently, as soon as possible, the later date, abbreviation of anonymous. Anonym, anonymous person, pseudonym. Anonymity, act or state of concealing name, unknown authorship. Anonymous, of unknown name or origin, unnamed. Anopsia, upward skin. Anopheles, kind of mosquito. Anopistographic, wearing writing etc. on one side only. Anorchus, lacking testicles. Anorexia, lack of appetite. Pathological refusal to eat, leading to weakness and even death. Anorthography, inability to write correctly due to imperfect muscular coordination. Anosmia, loss of sense of smell. Anorus, lacking a tail, especially applied to frog. Anovulatory, not associated with ovulation, suppressing ovulation. Anocyma, condition resulting from insufficient aeration of blood, mountain sickness. Anoxia, deficiency of oxygen, especially severe, condition to this, especially in flying at great heights. Anoxybiosis, anaerobiosis. Unsate, having a handle. Unsate cross, ank. Unsation, handle making. Unsclus, political union. Unserine, like or pertaining to a goose, bullish. Anta, column forming end of side wall of portico etc. or pilaster at side of doorway. An acid, curative of acidity, especially intestinal. Antalgic, drug alleviating pain. An alkali, substance neutralizing alkali. An anaclasis, obsolete, repetition of word from earlier phrase, especially of same word with different meaning. An apex, astronomy, point 180 degrees from that to which sun is moving. An arthritic, drug used against gout. Antebellum, existing before the war, especially the US Civil War. Antecedenious, before in time. Antecedent, before in time, prior, event happening prior to. Music, subject of fugue, stated in first part. Grammar, previous word, especially one to which pronoun etc. refers, personal history, ancestry. Antecessor, predecessor. Antedate, date or assign a date to a document etc. earlier than its correct date, precede in point of time, anticipate. Antediluvian, pertaining to period before the flood, old-fashioned, out of date. Antefix, ornament at the end of classical building, hiding hands of roof tiles. Antelucian, archaic, before dawn. Antemeridian, in the morning. Antimetic, drug preventive of vomiting. Antemortem, before death. Antemundane, before the creation. Antenatal, before birth. Antenna, zoology, sensitive outgrowth on head of insect, crustacean etc. Radio-aerial, especially complex. Anteniferous, bearing antennae. Antenniform, antenna shape. Antennae, small antennae or similar appendage. Antenuptial, before marriage. Antipascal, before Easter or the Passover. Antipas, archaic, foretaste, especially of first course. Antependium, altar frontal, similar cloth on pulpit or lectern. Antepenultimate syllable or word. Antepenultimate, last but two. Antepyeltic, preventive of nightmare. Anteprandial, before dinner. Anterior, before in time, in front. Antitype, prototype. Antevenient, preceding. Antevert, to displace a body organ forwards. Antevocalic, immediately preceding a vowel. Antihelion,
kind of solar halo opposite sun, anti-sun. Unhelmintic, remedy used against intestinal worms. Hemion, that cluster of leaves or flowers as ornament in classical art, architecture, honeysuckle ornament. Antir, botany, male pollen-bearing organ of flower. Anterozoid, male sexual element in lower plants, spermatozoid. Anteridium, male organ in cryptograms. Antithesis, the process or period of flowering. Anthology, collection of literary pieces. Antomania, great love of flowers. Anthopagus, feeding on flowers. Anthopilus, flower-loving, feeding on flowers. Anthoporus, botany, flower-bearing. Anthotaxy, botany, disposition of flowers in cluster. Anthozoan, sea anemone, coral polyp, any creature of the natural class Anthozoa. Anthozoid, coral polyp. Anthracoid, resembling anthrax, resembling carbon, coal, or charcoal. Anthracolytic, containing anthracite or graphite. Anthracosis, presence of coal dust in lungs. Anthracotery, fossil pachyderm. Anthrax, severe infectious disease of cattle and sheep, communicable to human beings, voil caused by this. Anthropical, pertaining to human beings. Anthropocentric, regarding humanity as center of universe. Anthropogenesis, study of human generation or evolution. Anthropogenic, pertaining to the effect of human beings on the natural world. Anthropogeography, study of geographical distribution of human beings. Anthropoglot, animal with human-like tongue, parrot. Anthropoid, resembling humans. Anthropolatry, worship, deification of a human being. Anthropolite, petrified human remains. Anthropology, science of natural history of human beings. Anthropometry, measurement of parts and functions of human body, especially as part of study of evolution. Anthropomorphism, representation of a god in human form, ascribing human characteristics to non-human things. Anthropomorphosis, transformation into human shape. Anthropomorphous, resembling human beings in shape. Anthropopathy, ascribing human feelings to a god or inanimate object. Anthropophagy, cannibals. Anthropoism, ascribing human nature to God. Anthropopithecus, conjectural animal forming missing link between man and apes. Anthropopsychism, ascribing human-like soul to nature. Anthroposcopy, evaluation of human bodily characteristics by inspection rather than anthropometry. Anthroposociology, study of effect of environment on race. Anthroposophy, knowledge of human nature, human wisdom, form of mysticism akin to theosophy. Anthropotheism, belief that gods have human nature or are only deified human beings. Anthropotomy, human anatomy. Anthropozoic, geology, characterized by human existence, especially the Quaternary period. Anthus, genus containing Meadopipit. Antibacchus, trical put of 2 long and 1 short syllables. Antivasilican, opposed to principle of monarchy. Antibiosis, association between organisms causing injury to one of them. Antibiont, organism living in antibiosis. Antibiotic, substance active against disease bacteria obtained from a living organism such as mold, fungus, or bacterium. Antiblastic, opposing growth, especially of harmful substances, giving natural immunity. Antibody, substance in blood that neutralizes specific harmful substances. Antibrachial, pertaining to forearm. Anticachetic, drug used against cachexy. Anticholinergic, blocking nerve impulses in order to control intestinal spasms. Antichrisis, possession and enjoyment of mortgage property by mortgagee in lieu of interest payments. Antictones, inhabitants of antipodes. Anticlastic, having transverse and opposite curvatures of surface. Anticlimax, weak ending, sudden descent to the ridiculous, bathos.
Anticline, geology, upward fold. Anticlinorium, arc-shaped group of anticlines and synclines. Anticonvalent, drug used against convulsions. Anticus, botany, turning away from axis. Anticryptic, zoology, having protective resemblance to environment. Anticyclone, area of high atmospheric pressure from which winds flow outwards in a clockwise direction in north hemisphere. Antidactyl, anapes. Antidetonant, anti-knock element in petrol. Antidromic, of nerve fiber conducting impulses in the opposite direction to normal. Botany, twinning towards right and left in members of one species. Antifebrile, preventive or cure of fever. Antigalactic, preventive of milk secretion. Antigen, substance causing production of antibodies. Antihistamine, any drug counteracting effect of histamine, especially in treatment of allergies. Antihydroponic, drug used against jaundice. Anti-icteric, drug used against dropsy. Antilapsarian, person denying doctrine of the fall of man. Antilegomena, New Testament books not in the early Christian canon. Anti-liberation, counterpoising. Anti-logarithm, number of which logarithm is a power of 10 or other base. Antilogism, logic, statement containing three propositions, two of which contradict the third. Antilogy, self-contradictory statement. Antimatter, hypothetical form of matter composed of particles equivalent to particles of normal matter but oppositely charged. Antimetabole, repetition of words or ideas in different order. Antimetathesis, repetition of parts of antithesis in reverse order. Antimony, a brittle crystalline whitish mineral, metal obtained from antimony and used in alloys and medicine. Antimoniferous, yielding antimony. Antinuretic, preventive of neuritis, especially applied to vitamin B or food containing it. Antinomian, one believing that belief in Christ frees someone from normal legal and moral obligations. Antinomy, legal contradiction between logical conclusions. Antinom, contradictory law or conclusion. Antiodontalgic, drug used against toothache. Antiorgastic, sedative. Antioxidant, substance preventing oxidation in food, rubber, petrol, etc. Anti-pedobaptize, person denying validity of infant baptism. Antiparallelogram, quadrilateral with two sides parallel and two not parallel. Antiparticle, an elementary particle corresponding to another in mass but different in electric charge. The two destroy each other if they collide. Antipascha, Low Sunday, first Sunday after Easter. Antipastic, pertaining to or like dishes, aperitifs, etc. served before main courses of dinner. Antipasto, Italian appetizer, horse deuburs. Antipathy, dislike. Antipheristasis, archaic, opposition, resistance, denying an inference while admitting the fact on which it is based. Antiparmic, antinodal. Antiphlogistic, drug used against inflammation. Antiphon, a response said or sung as part of the liturgy, asam etc. sung alternately by two choirs. Antiphonal, of music sung alternately. Antiphrasis, rhetoric use of a word in the opposite sense to its usual one for humorous or ironic purposes. Antipodagric, used against gout. Antipodes, region on other side of globe, exact opposite. Antipodal, diametrically opposite. Antipruritic, drug alleviating itching. Antipsychiatry, treatment of mental illness not relying on drugs, etc. Antipyretic, drug preventing or reducing fever, febrophagy. Antipyresis, treatment of fever with such drugs. Antipyrotic, a treatment used against burn. Antiprachitic, preventive of rickets, especially applied to vitamin D or food containing it. Antecessions, persons living on opposite sides of equator but in same longitude. Anti-scorbutic, preventive of scurvy, especially applied to vitamin C or food containing it. Antisemite, opposite of Jews. Antisideric, substance counteracting effect of iron. Antipas, metrical foot comprising on iambus followed atrochi. Antistrophe, stanza answering strophe in Greek chorus recited during movement from left to right. Antistromatic, remedy for scrofula. Antitalian, disapproving of festivity and laughter. Antithesis, opposite contrast, literature, device of parallel but contrasted phrases or sentences, second stage of reasoned argument, opposing the thesis. Antithrombin, substance in blood, preventing coagulation of blood. Antitoxin, neutralizing poison. Antitoxin, antibody, especially obtained from infected animal. Antitrades, westerly winds prevailing beyond 40 degrees north and south, westerly winds of upper air above trade winds. Antitropic, zoology, symmetrically reversed as right and left hands. Antitropy, state of being antitropic. Antitussive, drug etc. that alleviates or prevents coughing. Antitype, object or person figured by the type or symbol. Antitp, resistance to penetration or alteration. Antivenin, serum used against snake bite. Antizemic, preventive of fermentation. Antoecial, applied to places in opposite hemispheres but in same latitude and longitude. Antoecians, persons living in antoecial places. Antonymasia, literary device of using descriptive epithet or praise instead of person's name, using proper name as epithet. Antonym, word of opposite meaning. Antral, pertaining to antrum. Antrose, biology, turning upward and forward. Antrum, sinus, cavity especially leading into nose. Anuran, any of the order of amphibians which includes frogs and toads. Anuresis, inability to urinate. Anuria, inability to produce urine. Anurus, lacking a tail, especially applied to frog. Anus, opening at the posterior end of alimentary canal. Auris, grammar tense, signifying happening in unrestricted or unspecified phase. Auristic, indefinite, pertaining to auris. Aorta, main artery from left ventricle of heart. Outrance, to the utmost, to the depth. Apisthesia, loss of feeling in limb. Pugogi, mathematics, argument by reductio ad absurdum. Apandrus, having non-functioning male organs of fungi etc. Apartheid, former policy of segregating racial groups, especially in South Africa. Apathetic, zoology, having protective imitative coloration or shape. Apathy, indifference, lack of enthusiasm, intellectual dullness. Aperient, laxative medicine. Aperitif, appetizer, generally alcoholic. Apetalus, botany lacking petals. Aperesis, cutting off beginning of word. Aphasia, inability to swallow. Aphasia, loss of powers of speech and of memory of words due to injury to speech area of brain. Aphasic, persons who afflicted. Aphelion, point in orbit most distant from sun. Apheliotropic, growing away from the sun. Aphemia, loss of power of articulate speech, motor aphasia. Aphesis, loss of an accented vowel at beginning of word. Apid, any of the plant-sucking insects of the family Aphididae. Apis, Antlus, member of genus Apis which includes the green fly etc. Aphidipagus, feeding on apids. Aponia, loss of voice. Aponic, voiceless. Aphorism, brief voice saying, maxim definition. Aporize, speak or write as if in aphorisms. Apotic, without light. Aprasia, ability to speak or to make intelligible phrases. Aphrodisiac, drug-inducing sexual desire. Aphrodisian, pertaining to love or Venus. Apta, small white spot or small ulceration on mucous membrane etc. in humans or animals. Disease associated with aptae such as thrush. Aptus, pertaining to apta.
Aphthous fever, foot and mouth disease. Apily, absence of leaves. Apiaceous, parsley-like, belonging to family including carrot, parsley, etc. Apian, pertaining to bees. Apiary, place where bees are kept, collection of beehives. Apiarian, pertaining to beekeeping. Apiaries, beekeeper. Apical, at the summit or tip. Phonetics, pertaining to a consonant form with the help of tip of tongue. Apicad, towards the summit. Apiculate, of leaves having short point at tip. Apiculture, beekeeping. Apiology, study of bees. Apivorous, eating bees. Aplanat, a planetic lens. Aplanatic, free from spherical aberration. Aplasia, medicine, incomplete development. Aplomb, composure, self-possession. Aplotomy, simple surgical cut. Apnea, temporary cessation of breathing. Apocalypse, revelation generally of Saint John the Divine. Apocalyptical, pertaining to apocalypse, prophetic, foretelling disaster, dramatically conclusive. Apocatastasis, restoration, medicine, relapse, subsidence. Astronomy, reversion to the same position. Theology, conversion of whole world to Christianity. Apocenter, point in orbit opposite center of attraction. Apocentric, different from archetype. Apochromat, a chromatic lens. Apochromatic, lacking both spherical and chromatic aberration. Apocope, cutting off and upward. Apocratiary, papal secretary or nuncio. Apocrastic, astringent medicine. Apocrypha, books of unknown authorship, uncanonical books, especially those of Septuagint and Vulgate. Apocryphal, of doubtful origin. Apocintion, point in an orbit of the moon which is farthest from the moon center. Apodal, lacking feet or obvious hind limbs. Apodus, of insect larvae. Apodictic, evident, demonstrate, incontrovertible. Apodosis, mean clause in inconditional sentence. Apogeic, pertaining to apogee. Apogamy, biology, interbreeding in a separated group which has no characteristic differentiating it from parents. Botany, non-sexual reproduction in some ferns. Apogee, point in orbit, especially moons most distant from Earth, zenith climax. Apogeny, botany, sterility. Apogeotropic, botany, bending up or away from the ground. Apograph, copy, facsimile. Apolostic, caring only for pleasure. Apolygamic, biology, pertaining to selection, especially sexual. Apolitical, not political, politically neutral. Apologetics, defense and proof, generally of Christianity, whole body of such writings. Apologia, formal defense of a cause, one's belief, etc. Apologist, one who writes or speaks in defense of a cause or institution. Apologue, parable, moral tale. Apollune, point in the orbit of body revolving around the moon that is farthest from the center of the moon. Apomecometer, instrument measuring height and distance. Apomic, organism reproducing or formed by apomesis. Apomesis, non-sexual reproduction. Apopemptic, valedictory address. Apophasis, rhetorical device of emphasizing a fact by pretending to ignore or deny it. Apopony, ablaut. Apotem, brief-wise saying. Apopige, architecture, curve between shaft and base or between shaft and capital in a column. Apophysis, offshoot, projecting part, special of bone. Apophysate, botany, having an apophysis. Apoplexy, stroke or seizure due to thrombosis or rupture of brain artery. Apoplectic, pertaining to, like, or symptomatic of apoplexy. Aporia, rhetorical device of pretending not to know what to do or say, passage expressing a doubt or difficulty. Aposematic,
Zoology, giving warning applied to coloration, odor, etc. of animals. Aposiopesis, a rhetorical device of suddenly stopping in speech. Apostasy, desertion from religion or similar body. Apostate, person committing apostasy. Apostatize, change one's religious allegiance, forsake one's principles. A posteriori, derived from experience, empirical from effect to cause. Apostille, archaic, comment, note in origin. Apostolic, pertaining to apostle. Apostolic fathers, immediate disciples of the apostles, especially those living writings. Apostolic succession, broken derivation of episcopal power from the apostles. Apostrophe, sign that a letter has been omitted or of possessive case. Literature, exclamatory or rhetorical address to absent person, abstract quality, etc. Apostrophize, address in exclamatory or rhetorical fashion, use an apostrophe, omit letter from word. Apotelesem, archaic, casting of horoscope. Apothecary, archaic or American pharmacist. Apotem, perpendicular from center of regular polygon to any of its sides. Apotheosis, deification, ascent to glory, personification of ideal. Apotheosis, medicine, setting of broken limb. Apotropaic, averting or combating evil. Apotropaism, such magical practice of apotropaic. Apotypic, differing from type. Appanage, requisite provision such as land or office for younger sons of king or high official. Apparatchik, bureaucrat official. Apparitor, herald, harbinger, officer executing order of ecclesiastical court. Apis, come, pacify, allay, satisfy, accede to demands, especially dishonorably. Appellant, person appealing to higher court, etc. Appellate, applied to person, court, etc. having power to reverse decision of inferior. Appellation, name, rank. Appellative, grammar, common noun. Appendage, something attached to another thing as an extra or subsidiary part. Hanger on. Append, attach something as an extra. Appendant, thing adjunct attached to, hanging from or to, belonging as upright. Appendectomy, removal of vermiform appendix. Appendicle, small appendage. Appendix, addition generally to book, vermiform organ in intestines. Appendicitis, inflammation of the appendix. Appendicular, pertaining to appendix or appendage, especially a limb. Apperception, perception of inner meaning and of relation of new facts to facts already known, mental assimilation, state of being conscious of perceiving. Appersonation, delusion of insane person that is another generally famous person. Appertain, belong as upright or according to custom, pertain. Appetency, strong desire, craving, powerful instinct. Appetible, desirable. Appetition, yearning. Applinate, flattened. Applique, ornament, let into or laid on to attach or inlay such ornament. Appoggiatura, music, short note placed before a longer one. Short appoggiatura, acciaccatura. Apport, tangible object caused to appear by spiritualist medium, production of such object. Apposite, to place things side by side or next to each other. Apposite, appropriate. Apposition, juxtaposition, grammar, putting two nouns or phrases together as attributive or adjunct terms, relation of such nouns or phrases. Appraise, set a word on, evaluate. Apprehend, arrest, become aware of, understand, anticipate with fear. Apprise, inform. Apprise, value, appreciate. Approbate, approved, permit, commend. Approbation, formal approval. Appropinquity, nearness, propinquity. Appropriate, suitable, take exclusively, assigned to special use, still. Approximate, very close to, almost exact, we or make approximate approach. Apples, a cop striking against, astronomy, close approach of two celestial objects. Appurtenance, belonging, appendage, subsidiary, right, apparatus, paraphernalia. Appurtenant, belonging to by right, accessory. Apraxia, impaired ability to execute complex muscular movements. A priori, not derived from experience, deductive, lacking proof, arguing from general principle to expected effect. A priorism, philosophical belief that knowledge based on general principles may be used to evaluate experience. Apropos, up to the point opportunely, propose of, with reference to. Apse, rounded extension at end of building, especially at east end of church. Astronomy, apsis. Apsidal, having shape of apse, pertaining to upsides. Apsis, astronomy, point at which heavenly bodies is most at least distant from center of attraction. Higher apsis, most distant point. Lower apsis, least distant point. Apteral, of classical temple having columns at front or back only, of church lacking eye cells. Apterus, apterus, lacking wings. Apterygial, wingless, finless. Apteryx, tailless, flightless bird of New Zealand, kiwi. Aptylism, lack or absence of saliva. Apyretic, without fever. Apyrexy, absence or abatement of fever. Apyrus, non-inflammable. Aqua fortis, obsolete nitric acid. Aquamarine, gemstone, pale greenish blue variety of beryl of this color. Aquanaut, an underwater explorer, especially one remaining for extended periods in undersea diving chamber. Aquaphobia, fear of drowning. Aquapura, pure water, especially distilled. Aquaregia, royal water mixture of hydrochloric and nitric acid, which dissolves some metals used in etching and by alchemists to dissolve gold. Aquarelle, method of painting in transparent watercolor, such painting. Aquarellist, artist painting aquarelles. Aquarist, person who studies aquatic life, owner of an aquarium. Aquatic, plant living in or by water. Aquatint, print made by a method of etching having effect of watercolor drawing. Aquabite, water life, strong spirits. Aqueduct, channel carrying water especially in shape of bridge. Aqueous, pertaining to water geology deposited in or by water. Aquaculture, cultivation of water plants and animals for food. Hydroponics. Aquiferous, treeing yielding or containing water. Aquifer, water-bearing stratum. Aquilin, eagle-like, like beak of eagle. Arabesque, decoration having intertwined scrollwork patterns, especially of leaves, flowers, etc. Arabelle, land use or suitable for plowing. Arachnid, creature of the natural class Arachnida, including spiders, mites, etc. or resembling a spider. Arachnidism, condition arising from a bite of poisonous spider. Arachnoid, like a spider web, thin middle membrane enveloping brain. Arachnology, study of arachnids. Arachnopagus, eating spiders. Ariometer, hydrometer. Aranide, spider pertaining to spiders. Araniform, shaped like a spider. Araneology, study of spiders. Araneus, like a spider's web, transparent, delicate. Araporistic, seamless. Araroba, tree of Brazil with striped timber, zebra wood. Aracion, flowing. Araucaria, monkey puzzle tree, genus of conifers including it. Arbalest, crossbow with mechanism for drawing string. Arbiter, judge, especially one chosen by disputing parties. Arbiter elegantiae, Latin judge of taste, especially G. Petronius, supervisor of Nero's entertainments. Arbitrage, commerce, simultaneously buying stock etc. in cheaper market and selling in dearer. Arbitragir, practice arbitrage. Arbitrament, judicial decision, power to make decision. Arbitrary, discretionary, capricious, tyrannical. Arbitrate, judge, settle, quarrel. Arbor, main shaft or beam, spindle or axle of wheel. Arboraceous, pertaining to or like a tree, wooded. Arboreal, pertaining to trees or living in trees. Arboreous, having many trees. Arborescent, branch having shape or growth like a tree. Arboretum, botanical garden devoted to trees. Arborical, pertaining to trees. Arborical, living in trees. Arboriculture, tree cultivation. Arboriform, shaped like a tree. Arborist, tree specialist. Arborist, take on or give tree-like shape. Arborous, pertaining to trees composed of trees. Arborvitae, a coniferous evergreen shrub. Arbuscule, dwarf tree, shrub-like tree. Arbuscule, tuft of hairs. Arbustum, corpse, orchard. Arbustus, strawberry tree. Arcana, mysterious secrets, singular, universal remedy, elixir of life. Arcane, secret. Arcade, shaped like a bow. Arcature, small or blind arcade. Arcbotant, flying buttress. Archean, geology, applied to all Precambrian rocks. Archaeolatry, worship of archaic customs, expressions, etc. Archaeolithic, pertaining to earliest Stone Age. Archaeology, study of the remains of past human life. Archaeopteryx, fossil bird with reptilian characteristics. Archaeornis, fossil beakless reptile bird. Archaeozoic, living in the earliest geological era. Archaic, Asian primitive out of date. Archibiosis, abiogenesis. Archicentric, pertaining to archetype. Archetype, original pattern. Archididascalus, head teacher of school, etc. Archiepiscopal, pertaining to an archbishop. Archil, a dye obtained from certain lichens, lichen yielding this. Archimedes, great magician. Archimandrite, superior of large monastery of Greek church, abbot. Archimedes screw, device for raising water, consisting of a cylinder enclosing a screw. Archipelago, a group or string of islands. Architectonic, pertaining to architecture or to the systematization of knowledge, resembling architecture, structural, showing constructive ability, science of architecture, constructive skill. Architrave, beam resting directly on column, epistle, molding at hand and side of window or doorway. Archives, public records, place where such are kept. Archivist, keeper of archives. Archibolt, curve molding on face of arc. Archezoic, pertaining to earliest living things. Archaeology, theory of origin, science of government. Archon, a chief magistrate of ancient Athens. Arsiniphenus, having a frontier which forms a natural defense. Arciform, shaped like an arc. Arctogial, pertaining to the region including Europe, Asia, Africa, and North America. Arctoid, like a bear. Arctophile, person who loves or collects teddy bears. Arcuate, bow shape. Arcosenilis, senile ring, whitish ring round iris in eyes of old people. Areca, several palm trees, especially the betel. Areca nut, betel nut. Arenaceous, like or existing of sand, growing in sand. Arenarius, arenaceous. Areng, sago producing palm. Arenicolous, living in sand. Arenilitic, pertaining to sandstone. Arenoid, like sand. Arenos, sandy, containing much sand. Areography, description of surface of planet Mars, descriptive biogeography. Areola, circular colored border, especially around pupil of eye. Fustule or nipple, small circumscribed space, interstice. Archaeology, study of planet Mars. Areopagus, highest legal tribunal in ancient Athens and important tribunal. Areopagite, member of such a tribunal. Aretics, science of virtue. Aretology, relation of wonderful deeds of a god or hero. Arete, sharp ridge of mountain. Argal, therefore, corruption of ergo used to suggest absurd reasoning. Argali, Asiatic wild mountain sheep. Argand, applied to lamps, burner, etc. having tubular wick or flame. Argent, silver, silver-like. Argentiferous, yielding silver. Argentine, silvery metal. Argentometer, instrument measuring strength of silver solutions. Argil, clay, especially used in pottery. Argillaceous, containing clay, clay-like. Argilliferous, yielding or containing clay. Argiloid, like clay. Argol, crust formed on long-kept wine. Argon, inert gas contained in a very small quantity in atmosphere used to fill electric light bulbs. Argonaut, companion of Jason in the Argo, any heroic sailor, vapor nautilus. Argosy, large merchant ship, merchant fleet. Argot, slang or jargon, especially of criminals, tramps, etc. Argus, monster with 100 eyes, careful watcher, any of several small brown butterflies with eye spots. Argus-eyed, ever watchful. Argut, quick, sharp, shrill, stout, subtle. Argyrocephalus, with silvery or shining head. Aria, melody, especially solo for voice in opera or oratorio. Arid, dry, barren land, etc. Dull, unoriginal, lifeless. Arieta, short aria. Arios, characterized by or like a melody. Arioso, music song like instrumental piece, solo pertaining to both aria and recitative. Arista, aun. Aristarch, saber critic. Aristology, art or science of dining. Aristolate, having short arista. Arithmancy, divination by numbers. Arithmogram, number composed of numerical values assigned to letters in a word. Arithmocracy, government by the majority. Arithmography, representing a number with letters having numerical values. Arithmomania, obsession with numbers, especially compulsion to countings. Arithmometer, early adding machine. Armadillo, growing animal of South and Central America with bony armor and able to roll into a ball for protection. Armageddon, devastating conflict, war between good and evil at the end of world. Armature, armament, botany, zoology, defensive outgrowth. Electricity, piece of iron placed on poles of permanent magnet. Piece of iron whose movement due to magnetic attraction actuates apparatus or machinery. Rotating part of dynamo or electric motor. Stationary part of revolving alternator framework for sculpture. Armiferous, carrying weapons or arms. Armiger, armor bearer. Knights esquire, person bearing heraldic arms. Armillary, like pertaining to or composed of rings. Armillary spear, celestial globe composed only of rings marking equator, tropics, etc. Armipotent, having strong armament. Armisonant, resounding with the clash of arms. Armoire, cupboard, wardrobe. Armorial, pertaining to or bearing heraldic arms. Armorial bearings, coat of arms. Armory, heraldry. Armoris, expert in heraldry. Arnica, genus of plants including the mountain tobacco, tincture obtained from mountain tobacco used for bruises, etc. Aroin, archaic, imperative begun. Arpeggio, music, number of notes sounded in rapid succession playing in such fashion. Arquebus, Asian handgun supported on tripod. Arquebusier, soldier armed with arquebus. Arak, strong liqueur of the East manufactured from cocoa palm, rice, sugar, cane, etc. Arraign, call to account, bring before judicial court. Arraignment, indictment. Aran, unmitigated, infamous. Aras, tapestry especially covering wall. Arasene, embroidery material of silk and wool. Arek, raise up, attentive. Aret, judgment, decree, arrest. Ara, pledge, earnest money. Arizal, ruthless. Arrhythmia, disturbance of the natural rhythm of the heart. Arrierban, summoning by king of his feudatories and their vassals to military service, vassals so-called the nobility. Arrierpense, hidden meaning, ulterior motive, mental reservation. Aris, sharp edge, formed by two angle surfaces, especially edge fluting on column. Aris-wise, edgewise. Ariveste, push ambitious person. Arrogate, take or claim beyond one's right. Arrondissement, large subdivision of a French department. Arroyo, a small stream, dry stream bed, gully. Arsenal, store or factory for weapons. Repertory. Arsinatorium, rhinoceros-like fossil mammal. Arsis, originally unstressed part of metrical foot, in modern, accented syllable, music, unaccented part of bar. Arterial, like an artery made of roads. Arterialize, transform into arterial blood, give arteries to. Artery, vessel conveying blood from the heart, main channel. Arteriography, X-ray of arterial system. Arteriosclerosis, hardening of artery walls. Arteriotomy, dissection of arteries. Artesian, a flood to wells bored perpendicularly through and porous to porous strata. American applied to any deep well. Arthralgia, pain in a joint. Arthritis, inflammation of joint. Arthrography, X-ray of joint. Arthropod, creature of natural division arthropoda having jointed legs. Arthrosis, joint or articulation connecting two bones. Articular, pertaining to joints. Articulate, spoken clearly, having power of speech, especially fluent and expressive, divided into syllables, segmented, jointed, speak clearly, connect or be connected by or at joints. Articulation, clear speech, jointing. Artifact, object of human manufacture, condition caused by human interferences. Artifice, ingenuity, skill, trickery. Artificer, craftsman, mechanic in army. Artisan, workman, journeyman, mechanic. Arum, large spot plant called kukupin or lords and ladies. Arum lily, lily. Arundinaceous, like or pertaining to a reed. Arviculin, living in the fields or countryside. Arviculture, cultivation of fields. Aryan, philology, Indo-European language, suppose former speaker of that language of non-Jewish Nordic type considered a superior race in Nazi ideology. As, per coin of ancient Rome, weight of 12 as. Asafoetida, gum with garlic-like smell obtained from roots of certain East Indian plants. Asbestos, an inflammable material manufactured from fibrous amphibole. Asbestosis, disease of lungs caused by inhalation of asbestos dust over long periods. Ascarid, roundworm. Ascariasis, disease caused by infestation with ascarides. Ascaricide, substance destroyed ascarides. Ascendancy, domination. Ascendant, rising into power, powerful. Astronomy, moving towards zenith. Astrology, immediately above eastern horizon, powerful or preeminent position. Astrology, degree of zodiac above eastern horizon at child of birth. Horoscope. Ascender, part of lowercase letter rising above main part of letter having an ascender. Ascertain, find out for certain. Ascetic, person practicing severe abstinence, austere. ASEAN, habitant of torrid zone. Ascidian, sea squirt. ASCII, in computers, standard system for coding characters etc. in binary form. Ascites, abdominal dropsy. Asclepiad, lyrical verse invented by Asclepiades comprising a spondy, 2 or 3 choriambi and an ambios. Ascribe, attribute or assigned to a cause or source. Asseismic, free from earthquakes, designed to withstand earthquakes. Asesmatic, reducing or withstanding effect of earthquakes. Asepsis, absence of poisonous matter and organisms, method of causing such condition in surgery, sterilizing. Aseptic, substance causing or in state of asepsis. Asexual, non-asexual, sexless. Ashlar, squared building stone, stonework composed of this thin dressed stone for facing through wall. Ashlaring, partition in attic to cut off angle made by rafters and floor. Asinin, pertaining to the as stupid fatubus. Askari is African soldier or policeman. Asomatus, incorporeal lacking body. Asomatophyte, botany, plant in which body and the reproductive cells are undifferentiated. Asparaginus, pertaining to like or eaten like asparagus. Asperate, the rough, make rough. Asperge, sprinkle. Asperges, Roman Catholic, ceremony of sprinkling holy water. Aspergil, Roman Catholic, brush-like implement used to sprinkle holy water. Aspergillus, minute fungus forming mold. Aspergillosis, animal disease caused by aspergilli. Asperity, roughness, acrimony. Aspermatism, failure of male generative powers. Asperse, slander, calumniate. Aspersion, Roman Catholic, act of sprinkling holy water. Aspersorium, Roman Catholic, vessel holding holy water. Aspergil. Asperulus, botany, rather rough. Aspherical, offense, etc. free from spherical aberration. Aspeterism, doctrine that there should be no private property. Aspodel, kind of liliaceous plant. Daffodil, in literature, flower of the Elysian fields. Vogue aspodel, British grass-like moorland plant. Asphyxia, suffocation. Asphyxiant, substance causing asphyxia. Asphyxiate, substance causing asphyxia. Aspidate, shield shape. Aspirant, person seeking higher position or rank. Aspirate, sound H made by breathing out, consonant combined with H sound. So pronounced with initial H sound, move or draw by suction. Aspirator, any suction machine, especially for withdrawing gas or for separating corn from chaff. Medicine, instrument for withdrawing fluids by suction from body. Aspirin, drug acetylic salicylic acid, removing pain and fever. Asportation, removal, especially crime of removing property. Asapanic, flying squirrel of North America. Assart law, make arable by clearing trees etc. land, so treated action of asserting. Asari, small copper coin of ancient Rome. Assay, analyze or evaluate or etc. judge the worth of attempt such an analysis, substance analyze. Assecuration, marine insurance. Assentaneous, acquiescent. Assentation, ready and sincere assent. Assentatious, willing to assent. Assentator, flatterer, one assenting insincerely or conniving. Censor, law, voter not proposer or seconder, endorsing nomination of candidate for election. Asseverate, affirm, declare. Assibilate, pronounce with sibilant sound or hiss. Assiduity, unremitting care, unflagging or obsequious attention. Asiento, contract, treaty, especially with Spain for supplying slaves to Spanish America. Assign, allot, appoint, select, attribute, transfer legally. Assignant, promissory note, secured on state of lands issued during French Revolution. Assignation, appointment to mint, rendezvous, law, formal transference, nomination or assignee, interest transferred, paper money. Assignee, agent, representative, person to whom something is assigned. Assignment, deed of transfer, act of assigning commission, especially of a journalist. Assignor, person assigning. Assimilate, make or become similar, compare, incorporate, digest, absorb, we incorporated, digested or absorbed. Assize, legislative assembly, decree, generally one fixing weights, measures and prices, especially of bread and ali. Trial, Scottish trial by jury. Assizer, person fixing weights and measures, Scottish juror, court of sessions held periodically in all counties, courtroom for such courts. Assoil, archite, pardon, absolved, acquit, release. Assonance. Similarity between sounds, kind of rhyme in which only vowels are identical. Assuage, suit, mitigate, appease. Assuetude, habituation. Assumpsuit, law, contract not under seal, suit for breach of such contract. Assumption, act of assuming or putting on, fried supposition. Roman Catholic, ascent of Virgin Mary into heaven and feast August 15th of that event. Assumptuous, assuming, assume, assuming too much. Assurgent, ascending. Botany, upward carving. Astasia, ability due to imperfect muscular coordination to keep erect. Astatic, unstable, in neutral equilibrium. Electricity not tending to assume definite position. Astatic pair, pair of magnetized needles of opposite charges. Astatics, study of equilibrium of body under known forces. Astatine, radioactive element of the halogen group. Asteism, polite irony. Asteria, gem cut so as to show asterism. Asterial, star-like, a fossil starfish. Astriated, having star-like rays. Asterism, constellation of stars, group of asterisks, appearance of star-like reflection by certain crystals. Asteroid, small planet revolving between Jupiter and Mars. Planetoid, any star-like body, star shape, pertaining to or like a starfish. Asthenia, debility. Asthenic, weak of slender build, weakening. Asthenopia, optical weakness, especially muscular. Asthenosphere, hypothetical layer of fluid matter below rigid surface of Earth's crust. Astigmatism, defect in curvature of lens or of cornea of eye, causing unequal focusing. Astigmometer, instrument measuring amount of astigmatism. Astomatal, having no stomata. Astomatus, lacking mouth or stomata. Astragal, ankle bone, rounded bedding or molding on column, dice. Astragalomancy, divination by ankle bones or dice. Astragalus, medicine ankle bone. Astrakhan, closely curled, black or gray fur from fleece of caracul lambs, cloth resembling this. Astral, pertaining to or like stars, heavenly, spiritual, of the non-tangible substance of which astral body is composed. Astral body, body of light, linked to the emotions and believed by Theosophists and others to accompany physical body in life and survive it at the death. Soul. Astrophobia, morbid fear of thunder and lightning. Asterisk, astringe. Asterisk, vine, brace, restrict, constipate. Astringent, causing to contract, binding, styptic, tonic, constipating, such medicine or lotion. Astrogate, guide, spaceship, etc. navigate in space. Astrognosy, knowledge of fixed stars. Astrogony, theory of the origin of the stars. Astrograph, photographic telescope. Astrography, mapping or describing the stars. Asteroid, star shape. Astrolabe, ancient astronomical instrument for taking altitudes. Astrolatry, worship of stars. Astrolithology, study of meteorites. Astrologaster, fraudulent astrologer. Astrology, study of supposed influence of stars on human life, archaic astronomy. Astrologer, one who tells fortunes from the stars. Astrometeorology, study of supposed effect of heavenly bodies on weather. Astrometry, measurement of heavenly bodies. Astronautics, science of space travel. Astrophile, person fond of learning about the stars. Astrophysics, study of composition of heavenly bodies. Astucious, astute. Astute, acutely perceptive and shrewd. Astellar, architecture, lacking columns. Asymptomatic, showing no symptoms of a disease. Asymptote, line approaching a curve but meeting it only at infinity. Asynchronous, not occurring at same time. Asyndeton, rhetorical device of omitting conjunctions. Asynergy, medicine, lack of coordination, especially of muscles. Asyngamy, botany, failure to effect cross-fertilization due to asynchronous development of flowers. Asyntactic, breaking rules of syntax or grammar. asystole, cessation of contraction of heart. Atactic, asyntactic irregular pertaining to ataxy. Ataraxia, tranquility of mind, imperturbability. Ataraxic drug, able to calm or tranquilize. Atavism, reversion to remote ancestral type throwback, recurrence of hereditary feature after an interval of a generation or more. Atavistic, pertaining to remote ancestor. Atavis, person or thing marked by atavism. Atabus, remote ancestor whose characteristics recur in atavism. Ataxapasia, inability due to imperfect muscular coordination to speak sentences. Ataxia, inability to coordinate muscles, lack of order. Tachnia, childlessness. Atelectasis, incomplete dilatation or collapse of lungs. Atelier, studio workshop. Ateleusis, imperfect development, dwarfism. Ateling, Anglo-Saxon noble prince, especially heir apparent. Athenaeum club, having learned members, library. Atermanus, impervious to radiant heat. Atermus, without heat. Atherogenic, leading to atheroma. Atheroma, fatty degeneration of the arteries. Atherosclerosis, hardening of the inner lining of the arteries with fatty degeneration. Athetize, condemned as spurious. Athetosis, nervous twitching of fingers and toes. Atrepsia, complete debility in children. Atimi, melancholy. Atlantis, male figures used as columns. Atman, Hinduism, the soul, universal soul. Atmogenic, geology of atmospheric origin. Atmology, study of flows of watery vapor. Atmolysis, method of separating gases of different densities. Atmometer, instrument measuring rate of evaporation into atmosphere. Atmospherics, interference in reception of radio signals due to electrical disturbances in the atmosphere. Atocus, lacking of spring. Atoll, island form of a coral reef surrounding a lagoon. Atom, formerly ultimate unit of matter, smallest particle of element that can exist alone or as constituent of a molecule, any very small thing or quantity. Atomic, of atoms. Atomic bomb, of which the immense destructive power is due to sudden release of energy by nuclear fission. Atomic number, number representing the magnitude of the positive charge on the nucleus of an atom of an element, that is, the number of protons in the nucleus, or the number of electrons in an atom, numerically equal to the number denoting the position of an element in the periodic table. Atomic pile, nuclear reactor. Atomic weight, weight of an atom of an element on a scale on which the weight of an oxygen. Atomicity, number of atoms in molecule of an element. Atomism, theory of atoms. Atomize, reduced to atoms or a fine spray, treated as individual units rather than as a whole. Atomizer, pump-like instrument producing the fine spray.
Atomistic, atom or atomism divided into units. Atomy archetype, very small creature, skeleton. Atonal, music, composed in accordance with theory of atonality. Tonality, music, theory in which the scale consists of 12 semitones of equal value. Aton, make amends. Atonic, accented or voiceless sound, sword. Medicine, lacking tone or energy. Atopic medicine, allergic. Atopy, allergy. Atrabilius, very melancholic, hypochondriac. Atrament, very dark liquid, obsolete ink. Atraumatic, designed to avoid injury. Atresia, lack or closing of a passage of the body. Atrial, pertaining to atrium. Atrecha, baldness. Atrium, main courtyard-like room of the Roman house, cavity of heart or ear. Atrophy, wasting or paralysis due to lack of nutrition or exercise. Biology, loss of organ due to disuse, suffer or cause atrophy. Atropine, poisonous alkaloid obtained from deadly nightshade roots and leaves. Atrus, jet lag. Attaché, person attached to embassy. Attachment, law, taking of person or property by order of court. Attain, reach, achieve, desired goal, attainment, accomplishment, achievement, attainder, loss of civil rights, formerly a result of outlawry or death sentence. Attain, archive, first sentence of attainder on, solely attach disgrace to, inflict dishonor, misfortune. Attar, oil distilled from rose petals, any perfume derived from flowers. Attemper, archive, alter quality by addition or mixture, moderate. Temperate, archive, moderate temperature. Attemperature, apparatus for moderating temperature. Attenuate, make thin, dilute, weaken, thin, tapering, clarified. Attenuator, resistance, diminishing amplitude of oscillation in electric circuit. Attenuant, diluting the blood. Attestation, witnessing, giving evidence, British declaration on oath. Attic, of Athens or Attica, classically simple and pure. Atticism, well-turned praise. Attingent, archaic, touching. Atto, form of measurement meaning 1 million, million, or 10 to the negative 18. Attorney, accredited agent in law or solicitor, American counsel or solicitor. Power of attorney, authorization to act as agent. Attorney General, chief law officer of Crown. Attornment, acknowledgement by tenant of new landlord's rights. Attrahent, attracting, drawing towards or forward such thing or muscle. Attrition, wearing away, grabbing or scrapping. Chology, complete repentance due to fear of punishment. War of attrition, pain of wearing down enemies' moral and resistance. Attritive, causing attrition. Attritional, pertaining to, caused by attrition. Attritus mater, pulverized matter. Atypical, not typical. Aubade, musical piece performed at or describing done. Occurrence, in the current, up-to-date, especially in information. Actorial, pertaining to an author. Audile, person whose mental processes are stimulated more strongly by hearing than by other senses, pertaining to such persons. Auditory. Audio frequency, frequency between 20 and 20,000 cycles per second, that is the frequency of normally audible sound waves. Audiogenic, caused by sound waves, especially of high frequency. Audiometer, instrument testing sensitivity of hearing and audibility of sounds. Audiophile, person interested in high fidelity sound recordings. Audiphone, instrument for the deep placed against the teeth. Audit, examination, especially of business accounts, reports on such examination, make such examination. Audit ale, especially strong ale used at certain Oxford colleges on audit day. Auditor, person who audits listener. Auditory, pertaining to hearing, archive, audience auditorium. Aufate, to the fact, having complete and up-to-date knowledge, conversant. Aufund, at bottom, fundamentally. Augean stables, placed in filthy condition. From King Augean's stables in Greek mythology, unclean for 30 years. Augment, make or become larger or greater in size, etc. Augran seriox, with great seriousness, quite seriously. Augratin, covered with breadcrumbs and often cheese and grilled. Augur, prophet, soothsayer, omen, predict, portend. Augury, art of prophecy or divination, omen. August, majestic, venerable, awe-inspiring. Augustan, pertaining to Augustus Caesar and his age, especially to the literature of his reign, of any classical of golden age of literature, writer in such age. Oak, short-winged seabird, especially the extinct great and the little oak. Oaklet, small oak. Oolite, with milk. Aularian, pertaining to hall, member of a hall at Oxford or Cambridge. Owlet, flautist. Aulic, courtly, ceremonious. Au natural, in natural style, simply without additions, especially of cooking, nude. Aura, emanation, atmosphere surrounding a thing or person, personality, medicine, sensation, warning of onset of epileptic fit, hysteria, etc. Aural, pertaining to ear or hearing, pertaining to aura. Aurantiaceous, like or pertaining to orange or plant group containing it. Aurated gilded. Aurea mediocritas, the golden mean. Aureate, golden colored, ornate. Aurite, properties of gold. Aureola, hollow bright circle of light. Astronomy, solar corona. Aureola in gold colored. Aureomycin, trademark, an antibiotic extracted from a solid mold used in treatment of infections, especially of eyes, skin, etc. Aureus, gold coin of ancient Greece and Rome. Auric, pertaining to, like, or composed of gold. Auricle, external ear, ear-shaped appendage, upper cavity of heart. Auricumus, having golden hair, making hair golden. Auricular, pertaining to hearing or to the ear is spoken secretly. Auricular finger, the little finger. Auriculate, having ears or ear-shaped outgrowth, lobe, ear-like. Auriferous, containing gold. Auriform, ear-shaped. Aurified, changed into gold. Aurific, producing gold. Aurification, working with gold. Auriga, charioteer, constellation in northern hemisphere. Aurigation, art of driving a chariot. Auripregia, gold embroidery. Auriscope, instrument for examining ear. Auris, specialist on the ear and its diseases. Aurochs, extinct wild ox. Aurora, dawn, reddish glow in the sky before sunrise. Aurora borealis, luminosity in sky in Arctic region due to atmospheric electricity. Northern lights. Aurora australis, same phenomenon in Antarctic region. Southern lights. Aurus, pertaining to, containing or made of gold. Aureland, gold colored. Ausculate, medicine, listen to sounds in human body examined in this manner. Auscultator, person practicing auscultation, stethoscope. Auslot, final sound of syllable or word. Auspice, omen especially of good fortune, observation of such omen, patronage, protection. Auspicate, predict, give start to. Auspicious, promising well, favorable, important. Auster, south wind, southern latitudes. Austere, strict in moral outlook, extremely simple, without ornamentation. Severe, sharp. Austral, of the south, moist and warm. Autacoid, hormone. Autarky, absolutely, sovereignty, autocracy. Autarky, national economic self-sufficiency. Autecology, the ecology of the individual organism. Autism, abnormal self-absorption, especially in children. Autocephalous, ecclesiastical, self-governing. Autochthon, native of original species. Autoclave, apparatus for cooking or sterilizing instruments at high pressure. Autocrat, sole ruler or despot. Autodafé, burning of a heretic. Autodidact, self-taught person. Autoecious, a fungus, etc., passing through all life stages on same species of host. Autoerotism, self-induced sexual arousal and or gratification. Autogamy, self-fertilization. Autogenesis, spontaneous generation. Autogenous, self-generated. Autognosis, self-knowledge. Autoimmune, denoting a condition in which antibodies are aroused by a patient's own secretions, etc. Autointoxication, poisoning due to toxins produced in body. Autokinesis, voluntary or automatic movement. Autolatry, self-worship. Automation, control of machines by other machines, electronic devices, etc. instead of human beings. Automaton, automatic mechanism, especially one effecting complex actions, robot, person who acts like a machine. Automatism, machine-like action or routine, involuntary action, belief that actions are not controlled by conscious mind. Automorphic, form after its one or own pattern. Automotive, self-propelling. Autonomics, science of the performance by machine of mental process such as reading and translation. Autonomy, power or right to govern oneself or itself, free will. Autonomy, spontaneous involuntarily. Autonomous, self-governing. Autonym, writer owns name, work published under own name. Autophagy, devouring of cell constituents by enzymes of same cell. Autophobia, fear of solitude. Autophony, apparent distortion of one's own voice due to infection or stoppage of ears, sound of oscillator's voice as reverberating in patient's chest. Autophyte, plant able to organize its foodstuff, non-samprophytic plant. Autoplastic, grafting tissue from patient's own body. Autoplastic, biology, pertaining to self-adaptation to environment, pertaining to autoplasty. Autopsy, personal examination, especially post-mortem. Autoptic, derived from personal observation. Autoschadiasm, improvisation. Autoskeleton, internal skeleton. Autosome, non-sexual chromosome. Autostrada, motorway. Autotelic, having itself as its only purpose. Autotheism, belief in some subsistence of God the Son, deification of oneself. Autotherapy, treatment of patient by self or by application of one's secretions. Autotomy, reflect loss of part of the body to save the whole in lizards, etc. Autotrophic, botany nourishing itself. Autophytic, autotrophic, botany, tending to grow in a straight line. Autotype, facsimile, true copy. Autotypy, process of producing such copies. Autopus acquit, formerly acquitted, law, plea that defendant has already been acquitted on the charge. Tretems, autoremures, other times, other customs. Oxanometer, instrument measuring rate of growth of plants. Processes growth in cell size, hyperbole. Auxin, chemistry, substance increasing growth of plants, plant hormone. Oxograph, instrumental recording variations in volume. Oxology, science of growth. Oxotonic, according or due to growth. Ava, strong liqueur of Hawaii, plant from which it is obtained. Avant-garde, artists etc. in forefront of new ideas in the arts, pertaining to such artists or their work, experimental, strange. Avatar, incarnation of deity, especially Hindu manifestation, deification. Avant, archetype, vegan. Ave, hail. Ave at Cave Valley, hail and farewell. Ave Maria, prayer to the Virgin Mary. Avilnius, hazel. Avinaceous, pertaining to or like oats. Aveniform, like oats in shape. Avenus, lacking vein. Aventurine, glass containing golden or green flakes. Quartz, containing mica flakes. Aver, state as fact, assert. Average, commerce lost to owners due to damage to ship or cargo at sea, assessing of incidents of such loss in proportion among interested parties. Average adjuster, professional assessor of marine insurance claim who apportions them among owners, underwriters, etc. Averaging, commerce operation of increasing transactions on stock exchange when market goes against the operator to maintain price at level desired. Aberrantly, obsolete, avert without. Averse, strongly disliking. Aversion, fixed dislike, person or thing arousing this. Aversive, tending to cause aversion. Avian, pertaining to birds. Avicide, killing of birds.
Aviculare, pertaining to small birds. Aviculture, rearing of birds. Avifauna, bird life of a region. Avigation, aerial navigation. Avionics, study and use of electronic devices in aviation. Avirulent, of bacteria not virulent. Avitaminosis, condition due to vitamin deficiency. Avocation, hobby, vocation. Abocet, long-legged wading bird with upturned beak. Volitional, involuntary. Avow, openly acknowledge, affirm. Abulsion, act of pulling away part of body either by injury or surgery. Avuncular, of or like an ankle. Awn, bird of grass, barley, etc. Spilky outgrowth, strip of awns. Axenic, free of parasites and similar forms of life, surgically sterile. Axifugal, centrifugal. Axil, upper angle between leaf and stem of branch and trunk. Axilla, armpit, shoulder. Axillary, of armpit, of or growing in an axil. Axiniform, having shape of an axe head. Axiology, study of ultimate values. Axiom, necessary and accepted truth, basic and universal principle. Axolotl, larval salamander of Mexico and West Africa. Axon, projection of nerve cell that passes on nerve impulses. Axonometry, measurement of or by axis. Axonometric projection, method of representing three-dimensional object in two-dimensional drawing. Axophyte, stem-bearing plant. Axonje, medicinal lard or grease. Aya, native nurse or servant in parts of the former British Empire. Ayatollah, in Iran, powerful religious leader. Ai, species of lemur of Madagascar. Azan, Muslim call to prayer. Azimuth, angular distance measured along horizon of object from north or south points, angle between meridian and the great circle which passes through both zenith and the heavenly body. Azimuth compass, magnetic compass having sets for taking the azimuth circle. Azimuth circle, quadrant of great circle through zenith and nadir. Azoification, nitrogenization of soil by bacteria. Azofire, bacterium causing azoification. Azoic, lacking life, especially of geological period. Azoology, study of inanimate nature. Azote, obsolete nitrogen. Azotemia, excess of nitrogen in blood. Azotize, combined with nitrogen. Azote, alchemist name for mercury. Celsus postulated Phanasea. Azulejo, brightly colored tile of Near East, Spain and Holland. Azygus, unpaired odd. Azyme, unleavened bread. Passover, feast of such bread.
A few moments later.
Salamat po na naparami po sa inyong pong panonood. Kung nyo po ito pag nagustuhan, ay maaari po natin po itong share sa ating mga friends. Hanggang sa muli po, goodbye po!
You